siz writingni yoqtirib practice qilmaysiz. Hech qaysi o'qituvchi shu narsaning javobini bermaganda, agar 3 ta so'z chiqmayaptimi, demak siz yo so'zni o'tkazib o'rgansiz, yo xato yozgansiz. Men u kitobda sehrli damlama deyman-da. Sizga qaraganda, sizni o'qituvchingizga ham qaraganda saviyasi balandroq. Yevropa davlatida, rivojlangan davlatlarda hech kim ularni poor people demaydi. And this is where I made a mistake. Because when I was spelling it, I put the word cupboard. Agar hozir siz writingiz 6 bo'lsa, maslahatim. Assalomu alaykum hammaga. Mening ismim Bekhruz Shoturaev. Men Everest o'quv markazida IELTS instruktor bo'lib ishlayman. Everest o'quv markazida 2018-yildan beri faoliyat ko'rsatib kelaman. O'quv markaziga kelgan paytim IELTSim 7,5 bo'lgan va hozirgacha mana o'zimiz ustimizda ishlab, harakat qilib IELTSimizni 8 ga ko'tardik. Oxirgi marta avgust IELTS topshirgan paytim 4 marta IELTS topshirdim. 4tasi ham 8 chiqdi. Nasib bo'lsa endi IELTSimizni shu yil oxirigacha 8,5 qilish niyatimiz bor. Bugungi endi master klassimizni men o'zim o'tkazaman. Boshdan oxirigacha siz bilan qatnashaman. Oxirida har bir savolni listening, reading va writing bo'yicha tahlil qilib beramiz. O'zi mockda nima muhim? Mockda siz aynan imtihonda o'tirganingizda, ya'ni mock imtihonida, simulyatsiya qilganingizda har bir listening savoliga, reading savoliga biron bir agar savolingiz bo'lsa, so'rov belgisini qo'yib keting va o'sha savollarni bitta-bittalab biz siz bilan ko'rib chiqamiz keyin oxirida. Tushundingizmi? Yaxshi. Yana bitta narsa aytishimiz kerak. Menga bugun Xurshid aka bitta topshiriq bergan. Xurshid aka menga aytdi, "Bekhruz dedi, ba'zi bir o'quv markazlar bizni ustimizdan kulyapti" dedi. Qaysi ma'noda? Aynan o'zbek natspotokka dars o'tadi dedi. Ruskoязычный, misol uchun auditoriyaga yaxshi dars o'tolmaydi degan kayfiyatda yuribdi degan ma'noda gapirdi. O'shaning uchun Xurshid aka nima dedi menga? "Bekhruz dedi, asosan dedi rus tilini ishlat" dedi. Rus tiliga qo'shimchasida ingliz tilini ishlat dedi. Agar ba'zi bir savollar bo'lsa, bolalar tushunmasa dedi, qo'lni ko'tarsa o'zbekcha yo inglizcha variantda ishlatib javob beraver dedi. Tushundingizmi? O'shaning uchun endi xafa bo'lmaysiz. Русчаga asosan aktsent berar ekanmiz. Так, ну тогда продолжим на русском, как говорят. Я работаю в этом учебном центре Everest, как я сказал уже, с 2018 года. Я пришел в этот учебный центр с результатом IELTS 7,5, и вот в течение последних 5 лет смог поднять свой уровень до 8+. То есть получается у меня сейчас балл 8,125. И вы знаете, если общий балл будет 8,25, то он округляется и получается 8,5, то есть 8,5. Ну, что я могу сказать? До сих пор я сдавал IELTS 10 раз. И какие у меня были результаты? Первые 2 попытки я получил 7, дальше 2 раза получил 7,5. Затем 5-я моя попытка это был 8. И последние 5 раз, то есть в общей сложности 6 экзаменов я получил IELTS 8. Последние мои результаты были в август месяце. Я 4 раза сдавал IELTS, и 4 раза у меня вышли баллы 8. Точнее 8,125. Теперь посмотрите, ребят, цель нашего мастер-класса сегодня показать вам, как надо работать с вопросами листенинга, ридинга и райтинга. То есть вы сегодня знаете, что у нас идет timed practice. То есть мы работаем на время. И многие, когда работают на время, вы знаете, что у вас очень часто качество страдает. То есть поскольку вы быстро работаете, вам надо быстро реагировать на вопросы, на ответы. То есть мышка, клавиатура не в наших руках. То есть понимаете, да, получается? Нам придется стараться по максимуму. В конце мастер-класса я каждый вопрос по листенингу, ридингу и райтингу анализ сделаю. И мы с вами посмотрите, если уделим на это 1,5-2 часа времени, мне кажется, мы успеем и listening, и writing, и speaking. Теперь давайте каждый скилл, который я сам прорабатывал, я вам лично расскажу. То есть как у меня это работало, как я старался. Самый легкий навык для меня, который я потянул, это был reading. Я сам по природе люблю читать, люблю заниматься, то есть читать книги, читать новости. Ну, это можно сказать хобби. Чтобы поднять reading, обычно чем я занимался? Я сам, своим ученикам тоже такой совет даю. If you want to succeed in IELTS, you should do everything but IELTS. То есть, если вы хотите добиться успеха в IELTS, вам надо делать все, кроме IELTS. То есть, что имеется в виду? Кроме традиционных классов, то, что вы ходите на моки, на занятия, я в большинстве случаев ученикам рекомендую что? Во-первых, читать книги. начинать с самого элементарного уровня. Я начинал со сказок. То есть читал сказки. Эртеклер. Читайте сказки. Постепенно можете наращивать свой reading и переходить на более серьезный, получается. Допустим, можете перейти на энциклопедии. Энциклопедии, вы знаете, они идеально подходят под формат ридинга, потому что они охватывают все возможные темы. Это как получается, если у вас элементарно нет знаний, представления, о чем здесь говорится в этом тексте, несмотря на то, что у вас хороший английский, вы не сможете некоторые вопросы ответить. Почему? Мы это называем как reading between lines, то есть вы должны научиться читать между строк. И как получается? Ну, допустим, посмотрите. Представьте, что пацан из Африки сдает IELTS экзамен. Он в своей жизни ни разу не видел снег. И ему на экзамене дают текст про погодные условия, как, допустим, образуется снег. Ему говорят, он пушистый, он мягкий, он падает с неба. То есть вы понимаете, что человек в Африке, если он об этом не читал, не смотрел, не видел снег, он практически, посмотрите, да, не будет иметь представления, что это такое. И что происходит, когда вы не знаете ничего, то есть у вас нет никаких представлений насчет определенной темы. Вам становится скучно. Вы начинаете терять концентрацию, вам становится неинтересно, и вы хотите побыстрее закончить, то есть ответить на вопросы и, получается, перейти на другие аспекты. И как только это происходит у вас, ребят, посмотрите, да, как только у вас это происходит, вы начинаете делать технические ошибки. Под техническими ошибками, что я имею в виду? Вы торопитесь, делаете spelling mistakes. Вы торопитесь, ставите ненужное количество слов. То есть вас просят максимум 3, а вы можете поставить нечаянно 4. Или вас просят 3, не больше 3. И ответ там, допустим, как раз 3 слова, а ты поставил только 2 слова. И в данном случае вы делаете такие, понимаете, да, простые мелочные ошибки, получается. Теперь посмотрите дальше. Когда вы работаете над энциклопедиями, как только, допустим, правильно, не знаю, там, закончили одну энциклопедию, вы можете переходить постепенно на журналы. Несколько журналов, ну, допустим, New Scientist, Economist, Spectator, они именно идеально подходят под формат IELTS ридинга, мы можем даже так сказать. Они берут из этих сорсов, источников ридинги, упрощают эти ридинги и дают вам на экзамене. То есть то, что вы читаете на экзамене, reading, это и есть какие-то статьи, articles, получается правильно, из журналов. Только они вам дают это как экстракт, вырезка. Они упрощают, они подводят вам, допустим, если какие-то термины есть, сложные слова, они заменяют их на более простые и вам дают на экзамене. Мой первый результат по ридингу, я помню, если не ошибаюсь, был 8. Последующие экзамены я получал 8, постепенно потом 8,5, и последние 4 экзамена строго 9. То есть не меняется. И я вам могу так сказать, любой навык, любой скилл, он требует всегда, можно сказать, exercise, прокачки. Если вы видите, что у вас reading ослабел, то есть ты вроде раньше делал, получается, у тебя был 7+, был хороший результат. Но как только ты начал обращать внимание на другую, допустим, ты решил больше времени уделять на listening, у тебя reading может упасть. Почему? Нехватка практики, недостаток практики, скорость твоего чтения, speed reading теряется. Как только теряется speed reading, вы начинаете уже, получается, не успевать. У меня самая большая проблема на экзамене была какая? Первый passage успевал. Второй passage я успевал, а что касается третьего passage, у меня всегда были какие-то моменты. То есть я делал наугад. Был один раз, когда я 4 вопроса или 5 вопросов подряд поставил, то есть, понимаете, да, наугад. И максимум 1 или 2 там могут выйти правильно. То есть это были ситуации, когда я 8 получал. Теперь давайте поговорим про listening. Самое главное listening это что? Если вы reading поднимете, вы заметите, что у вас listening тоже поднимется. Почему? Потому что у большинства из вас проблема не в listening, у вас проблема в reading. Вы читаете вопросы в listening и не можете найти какие-то ключевые слова. То есть вы не можете найти какую-то, можно сказать, как в математике, переменную x, 1 или 2 слова, которые влияют на смысл всего предложения. Если вы подтянете, получается, reading, у вас, соответственно, поднимется listening. Теперь, как надо поднимать listening? Кроме традиционных занятий, классов, плюс мок-экзаменов, вам надо слушать подкасты. Если у вас есть какая-то тематика, то есть мавзу, получается, правильно, которая вас интересует, вы на эти темы можете слушать подкасты. 1-2 в день, мне кажется, вполне достаточно. И в чем здесь секрет? Не надо слушать разные вещи. Надо слушать, если, допустим, один подкаст, вы должны слушать один и тот же подкаст в течение всего дня. Я в основном как это делал? Когда пользовался общественным транспортом, то есть метро, автобус, я брал подкаст и слушал его в течение всего пути. Дальше. Приходил домой, у меня было время до обеда или, получается, после обеда. Я полностью посвящал время на подкаст. То есть, чтобы слушать подкасты, не обязательно там, понимаете, да, сесть за стол, приготовиться, подготовиться, то есть, понимаете, да, получается, никаких прелюдий там не обязательно. Теперь, подкасты, когда слушаете, что повышается у вас? Comprehension, то есть понимание. Если ты, когда слушаешь подкаст первый раз, ты понимаешь его на 60-70%. Если вы слушаете один и тот же подкаст по 2-3 раза, то у вас в конце 3-4 попытки comprehension поднимается до 100%. И третье насчет listening, то, что надо делать, это получается, мне кажется, transcription. То есть вы берете listening, либо section 2, либо section 4, и начинаете писать. Слушаете, пишите. Это более такой хардкор получается. Вначале что происходит? Вначале вы чувствуете себя неприятно. В каком смысле? Пишите 2 раза, пишите 3 раза, допустим, понимаете, да, одно и то же. Не получается полностью охватить там. You cannot catch it. То есть вы не можете словить, что он имеет там в виду. Но как только вы делаете это несколько раз, 3, 4, 5 раз, вы уже понимаете, что у вас comprehension стал лучше. И еще один момент. Есть такое понятие, как memory, память. Вы, наверное, заметили, что когда вы занимаетесь IELTS, английским, правильно, вам надо развивать память. Каждый раз вам придется развивать память. То есть русский язык изучаешь, надо поднять память. Английский изучаешь, придется развивать память. Бывает такое. Поставишь аудио на 20 секунд и попросишь ребенка, повтори. То есть попросишь ученика повторить то, что было сказано в течение 20 секунд. Он последние 5 секунд даже не может повторить. То есть у него не получается даже, понимаете, да, процитировать, citation называется, повторить последние 5 секунд. Но если вы будете делать transcription, писать, вам надоест каждые 5-10 секунд ставить паузы. Что вы начнете делать? У вас эти паузы будут по 20-25 секунд. Я сейчас, когда делаю transcription, а я этим до сих пор занимаюсь, у меня обычно 30 секунд. То есть я могу послушать аудио в течение 30 секунд и повторить вам слово в слово, точь в точь. Как говорят на узбекском, oqizmasdan tomizmasdan. То есть, agar siz listeningda ikkinchi sectionini yoki 4-chi sectionni olib, boshdan oxirigacha transcription qilsangiz, sizda xotira kuchayadi. И oldinlari siz oxirgi 10 sekunddagi audioni faqat xotirangizda saqlab qolgan bo'lsangiz, 20-30 sekundlik audioni xotirangizda qolishini ta'minlab berasiz. Hozir mana ko'pchilikda nima bo'ladi? Savol beradi, savolning javobini o'tkazib yuborasiz. To'g'rimi, yo'qmi? Ayniqsa 3-sectionda. Multiple choice berganda shuni xayolingiz ketadi, o'tkazib yuborasiz. Ko'pchilik IELTS topshiradigan o'qituvchilar ham o'tkazib yuboradi. Ularda ham o'tib ketadi. Lekin ular nima qila oladi? O'sha narsani qaytaradi. Ya'ni shuni xotirasida o'sha narsa saqlanib qoladi, oxirgi 20 sekundni qaytaradi. 20 sekundni qaytargandan keyin to'g'ri javobni oladi-da, yopishtirib joyiga yozib qo'yadi. Sizda shu narsa o'xshamayaptimi? Demak, uyga borib, hozir mana misol uchun, to'g'rimi, bo'lgan mockni listeningini 2-section bilan 4-sectionni olib, bittalab yozib chiqqaningiz yaxshi. Ikkinchi narsani aytdik, bu nima dedik? Nima qilishingiz kerak ekan? Podcast tinglash. Podcastda agar bitta podcastda, mana vrachlar yozib beradi-ku, kuniga 3 mahal ovqatdan oldin yoki keyin deb. Bitta podcastda bir kunda 3 mahal, 4 mahal ovqatdan oldin deysizmi, keyin deysizmi, yo transportda ketayotganingizda agar odamlarning gapini eshitish xohlamasangiz, shuni podcastga yoqib olsangiz bo'ladi. Podkastlarim qanaqa? 30 daqiqa, 40 daqiqalik podkastlarni eshitish kerak. Nimaga? Chunki listening mana o'zingiz bilasiz, 25 daqiqadan 30 daqiqagacha bo'ladi. Ya'ni konsentratsiya. Listeningda agar konsentratsiyangiz kuchaysa, listeningda agar xotirangiz kuchaysa va readingni kuchaytirsangiz, listeningdan 9 olish oson. Men ko'pchilik odamlarni ko'rganman, listeningi past bo'lgan, lekin readingiga ishlagandan keyin listening ko'tarilgan. Nimaga? Chunki siz o'zingiz bilasiz, mana 3-sectionda yo 4-sectionda berilgan 30 sekund daqiqa, masalan, 30 sekund vaqti yo 1 minut vaqti savollarni o'qishga, tahlil qilishga yetmaydi. Yo nima bo'ladi? Savollarni tahlil qilasiz, savollarni, kalit so'zlarni belgilaysizda, audioni yoqishi bilan savol nima bo'ladi? Barcha hozir ko'rib chiqqan savollaringiz xotirangizdan chiqib ketadi. Yana bitta narsa, mana misol uchun qarang. Xotirangiz agar listeningda kuchaysa nima bo'ladi? Siz savollarga qaramasdan ishlashni boshlaysiz. Men ko'rganman, kuzatganman, mana 8,5-9 listeningdan oladigan odamlar, ular savolga sizga o'xshab qaramaydi mana. Agar ko'ryapsiz, bitta odam boshi bilan listeningga kirib ketyaptimi, u odam ko'pchilik holatda 6,5 oladi. Nimani hisobiga? Chunki u savolda listening ketayotgan payti o'qiyapti. U ham o'qiyapti, ham bu yoqdan listening ketyapti. Miya bir vaqt o'zida ikki narsani qila olmaydi. Bilasiz, multitasking deyiladi. Nima bo'ladi? U eshitgan narsasi yoki u mana o'qigan narsasi eshitgandek tuyuladi. Meni o'zimda shu narsa bo'lardi. Qarardim, savolni o'qiyapman, javobni B qo'yardim. Bni aytmagan. Buni men o'qidim, u nimadir dedi, miya adashib ketyapti, chalkashyapti. O'shaning uchun hozir men sizga beradigan listeningdagi maslahat, birinchisi podcast, ikkinchisi transcription qilishingiz kerak, uchinchisi mockdagi har bir savollarni yaxshilab tahlil qilib chiqishingiz kerak. Endi qarang, writingga o'tadigan bo'lsak, writingda menda o'zimda qanday holat bo'lgan? Birinchi, ozgina ruscha gapiraman, keyin o'zbekchaga o'giramiz. Ну, у меня writing как был? Первый раз, когда я сдавал IELTS, у меня был рейтинг 6. Повторная попытка тоже была 6. Следующая попытка была 6,5, 7, 7,5, и в конце последний экзамен я, допустим, получил опять 6,5. Немага. Почему? Дело было так. Когда я сдавал IELTS первый раз и получил 6, я использовал свои идеи. То есть я писал, как я хотел. Ну, как вы, большинство из вас делают, понимаете, да? Почему вы получаете 6? Почему по рейтингу максимум получаете 6,5? Потому что вы делаете все, как вам хочется. Вас обучают одному, а вы делаете совершенно другое. И я понял, что если я буду так продолжать после второй попытки, у меня рейтинг не поднимется. Что я начал делать? Я начал воровать. В смысле воровать? Ты берешь чужие эссе, sample, читаешь. Ты берешь дополнительные ресурсы, книги по рейтингу, находишь, читаешь. Нету идеальной книги, которая полностью охватывает все аспекты рейтинга. Есть книги, которые больше упор делают на словарный запас, vocab. Есть книги, которые большой упор делают на структуру, грамматику. Есть книги по рейтингу, которые делают больше акцент, получается, на идеи. Третье. Есть целый список книг по рейтингу, которые элементарно любой из вас может сам self-study сделать дополнительно. И ваш рейтинг, поверьте мне, поднимется с 6 до 6,5 или 7. Теперь посмотрите, послушайте, чему вас учителя не учат, о чем вам учителя не рассказывают. Они вас учат одному, а делают сами совершенно другое. В смысле? Они вас учат, как надо писать эссе, они вас учат, что надо делать, но сами готовятся по-другому. Они сами постоянно берут какие-то внешние, понимаете, ресурсы, книги, видеоуроки, курсы, работают по этим курсам, получают какие-то знания, а потом постепенно стараются их передать вам. Но проблема в чем? Когда происходит эта передача, эта информация передается не полностью, 50-60%. Лучше, конечно, читать всегда первоисточник. Хорошие книги для рейтинга это какие? Можно взять, допустим, Саймон, его Model Answers прочитать. Можно взять для идей, есть книга такая IELTSlist.com, наверное, вы знаете, да, получается? Task 1, Task 2 идеальный получается. Дальше IELTS Journal, очень хорош в плане структуры получается. Или Complete IELTS, есть такая книга, там вьетнамец какой-то, Zim Academy получается, хорошие книги. И плюс что, посмотрите, в чем разница между writing 6 и 6,5? В двух словах. Грамматика, словарный запас. Если ты берешь writing, который написан на 6, и просто убираешь ошибки по грамматике, и исправляешь word choice mistake, то есть он слово подобрал неправильно, writing повышается с 6 до 6,5. В чем разница между 6,5 и 7? Language. То есть 6,5-7 это именно требует вашего что? Стилистику. Вы должны писать так, как пишутся. Вы reading, когда читаете, замечали, как красиво они пишут? У них есть свой стиль, у них есть свой language. Надо стараться имитировать этот language, надо стараться подделывать его, копировать, как китайцы. Китайцы берут американскую технологию, чуть-чуть меняют под свои стандарты и выпускают. Зато страны третьего мира, как посмотрите, да, допустим, STAN countries или там developing countries like Uzbekistan, правильно, они покупают эту технологию. Американцы эту технологию брать не будут, у них есть лучше. Зато вы можете сделать то же самое, взять идеи чужие, составить для себя, допустим, правильно? Вот что я делаю каждый раз перед тем, как сдавать IELTS? Я беру где-то 40 эссе на 10 разных тем. И на каждую тему я по отдельности делаю analysis. Беру оттуда vocab, беру оттуда идеи, готовые. Захожу на экзамен. Если эта тема близка к каким-то темам, которые я разбирал, я беру идеи, которые были у меня, на model answers, вставляю сам экзамен. За 40 минут ничего нового придумать у вас не получится. Свои идеи написать можно. Это вариант легче. Но проблема в чем? Свои идеи у вас очень часто слабые. Вот видите, да? Хак срос, как говорят. Не зря он чихает, понимаете, да? Все. Дальше. В чем разница между 7 и 7,5? Могу тоже ответить. 7 это эссе, у которого нет проблем, серьезных проблем в плане грамматики. Vocab. Грамматика vocab уже никто не смотрит. 7,5 и 7 разница просто, знаете, в чем? Я могу так сказать. Если вы берете эссе на 7, task 1 и task 2, успеваете полностью закончить task 1 и task 2 и перечитываете proofreading, то есть свой эссе, исправляете грамматические и лексические ошибки сами, ваш эссе поднимется до 7,5. Так можно и даже 8 поднять, мне кажется. Endi o'zbekchasiga qarang. Writingda eng muhim narsa nima? Writingda ko'pchilik qiladigan xato nima? O'zboshimchalik. Ya'ni o'zingizning fikrlaringizni yozishingiz, faqatgina o'zingizning dunyoqarashingizga tayanib esselarni yozib chiqishingiz. Ayniqsa taskdan aytaman men sizga. Meni o'zim writingdan birinchi marta 6 olganimda shu narsani birinchi marta emas, endi ikkinchi marta deylik. 2 marta ketma-ket 6 olganman. Qarayapman, writing topshiryapman, IELTS topshiryapman, writingda o'sish bo'lmayapti. Savol tug'ilgan nimaga? Hech qaysi o'qituvchi shu narsaning javobini bermaganda, odatda o'qituvchilar beradigan javob nima? Ishlash kerak. Ko'proq esse yozgan, ko'proq mo'qqa qatnagan, writing ko'tarilib ketadi. Eng katta xatolardan biri nimaga? Ko'p yozdi degani, ko'p qildi degani natija o'sadi degani emas. Chunki siz bitta xatoni qayta qilib yotibsiz. Kichkina bir qadamdan boshlang. Grammatikani tozalang. Grammatikani tozalayapsiz. Grammatikani tozalash nima degani? Grammatika kitobni ochasanda har kuni bitta ikkita mavzuni takrorlab chiqasan. Esse yozganda topshirishdan oldin esseingda o'zing tekshirasan. Birov tekshirmasin. O'zing tekshir. Bitta ikkita xatoni topasan. Oradan 1,5-2 oy o'tadi, grammatikani o'zing tugatib qo'yasan. Grammatikani bu yerda o'tirganlarning 99% tugatgan. Lekin takrorlamagan. Tushunyapsiz? Siz shu mavzular borligini bilasiz grammatikada. Lekin u mavzularni qanday ishlatish kerakligini, qayerda ishlatish kerakligini, qaysi mavzuni strukturasini qo'shma gaplarda yo masalan ing decloslarda qanday qilib ishlatsa grammatikangizda to'g'ri ball o'sishini ko'rsatadi. Endi qarang, vocab ham xuddi shunaqa, so'z boyligi. Ba'zi bir odamlar mana yozadi, esse yozganda poor people deydi. Poor people deyapsiz, kambag'al odamlar deyapsiz-da. Menga qarang-da. hech qaysi, mana misol uchun Yevropa davlatida, rivojlangan davlatlarda hech kim ularni poor people demaydi. Faqat siz o'zbekchadan ingliz tiliga o'girib poor people deb yozyapsiz. Ular nima deyishi mumkin? Disadvantaged people deydi. Underprivileged people deydi. Ya'ni hayotda omadi kelmagan, hayoti o'xshamagan odamlar deyilib, qarang, neytral tilda yozadi, salgina qog'ozga o'rab. O'sha word choice deyiladi, ya'ni so'z tanlash. 6 olayotgan writingdan odam nima qilyapti? Ruschadan yo o'zbekchadan to'g'ridan-to'g'ri ingliz tiliga tarjima qilyapti. Ya'ni siz bilan Google tarjimon bor-ku, Google переводчик bilan farqingiz yo'q. Faqat u salgina nimasi so'z boyligi kattaroq, o'shaning uchun to'g'ri, aniqroq tarjima qiladi. So'z boyligi bilan grammatikaga ishlasangiz, writingingiz 1 oy ichida 6 dan 6,5 ga chiqadi. Har kuni grammatika bilan so'z boyligi ishlasangiz. So'z boylikka qanday ishlanadi? Ko'pchilik qiladigan xato nima? So'zlarni ro'yxat qilib oladi, yangi so'zlarni bittalab yodlab chiqadi. Bizda xotiramiz qanday ishlaydi? Qanchalik ma'lumotni qisqa qilsangiz, shunchalik xotirada uni qolishi past. Ya'ni xotirada kam qoladi. Kontekst degan tushuncha muhim. Kontekst degani o'sha holat. Siz u so'zda yonidagi so'zlarni qo'shib bitta so'z birikma qilishingiz kerak. So'z birikmani olasizda daftaringizga yozasiz. Bitta gap tuzasiz. Ikkita gap tuzasiz. Shuna qilib, sizda misol uchun to'g'ri 1000 ta, 1,5 mingta so'z bo'ldi. Keyingi marta so'z boyligingizni takrorlaganingiz, vocabda revision qilganingizda nima qilasiz? So'zlarni har birini yoniga bittadan sinonim yozib chiqasiz. Bitta, ikkita, uchta sinonim yozib chiqasiz. Nimaga? Writingda paraphrase kerak. Paraphrase qilganda ham nima? Paraphrase to'g'ri qilish kerak. Mana bitta narsa borda, overshooting degan. Mana uni o'ldiraman deyapsan-da, otaman deyapsan-da. Nargisini o'ldirib qo'yapsan. Ya'ni nima deyapman? O'zbekchasida bitta maqol bor bizda. Nima deydi? Qosh qo'yaman deb ko'z chiqarib qo'yadi deydi-ku. O'sha narsa ketyapti sizda. Siz qilayotgan xatolaringiz eng kattasi vocabni paraphrase qilganda, sinonimlarni yozganingizda bir-birini interchangeable bo'lmagan, o'rnini bosa olmaydigan so'zlarni ishlatib qo'yasiz. Mana bitta o'quvchimda bo'lgan holat, probka degan so'zni bilasizlar-a? Probka deganda birinchi o'rinda xayolingizga nima keladi? Mashinalar. To'g'rimi? O'sha Evrogruppada o'qiydigan bola nima qilyapti? Probka deb yozyapti. Unga bir 5 tami so'zni sinonimini beryapti. Probka. Lekin mana rus tilida ham probkaning 2-3 ta ma'nosi bor. Probka nima? Traffic jam. Probka nima? Traffic congestion. Probka nima? Cap. Cap degani nima? Mana butilkani bor-ku, qopqog'i. Rus tilida shu ham probka deyiladi. Yoki kork degan narsa bor, vino yoki shampanskiyda bilasizlarmi? Bo'ladi-ku, o'sha ham probka. Ya'ni muammo nimada? Siz bitta tildan ikkinchi tilga to'g'ridan-to'g'ri tarjima qilganda, so'zni aynan bir-biriga ma'nosi to'g'ri kelishini make sure, ya'ni shu narsaga xulosa qilishingiz kerak. Tekshirib ishlatishingiz kerak. Tekshirmasdan, bu yoqda qayerdadir ko'rib qolgan so'zingni ishlatsang, 2-3 marta shunaqa word choice'da xato qilsang, lexical resource'ga senga 6 dan baland qo'ymaydi. Writingda yomon narsa nima? Writingda oddiy, sodda so'zlarni ishlatish qo'rqinchli, ya'ni yomon narsa emas. Yomon narsa nima? Qiyin so'zlarni, murakkab so'zlarni, akademik so'zlarni ishlataman deb, uni noto'g'ri ma'noda, noto'g'ri kontekstda ishlatib qo'ysang, bitta, ikkita shunaqangi xato qilsang, ekzaminatorda senga bo'lgan misol uchun impression deymiz-ku, tasavvuri, to'g'rimi yoki taassuroti o'ladi. O'zi biladi, senga lexical resource'ga 6-6,5 dan baland qo'ymaydi keyin. Keyingisi 6,5 dan 7 ga ko'tarish uchun nima qilasiz? 6,5 dan 7 ga writingni ko'tarish uchun ideyaga ishlaysiz. O'zingizni fikringiz bilan yozgan essay bilan, birovning fikri bilan yozgan essayda osmon bilan yercha farqi bor. Nimaga? Chunki ular IELTS instruktor. Ular kim? Professional. Sizga qaraganda, sizda o'qituvchingizga ham qaraganda saviyasi balandroq. Kuniga bitta, ikkita essayni olib tahlil qilsangiz, 1,5 oy, 2 oyda 40 ta 50 ta essayga aylanadi. 40 ta 50 ta essay degani sizda imtihonda o'shanga yaqin bo'lgan mavzu tushadi. Misol uchun, tamaki mahsulotlari deyamizda, siz alkogol haqida, to'g'rimi? Ichkilik mahsulotlari haqida, ya'ni alkogol haqida reading demaylik, endi writing sample answer o'qigansiz. Ikkovini fikrlari, g'oyalari bir-biriga nima qiladi? 100% to'g'ri keladi. Agar siz o'sha g'oyalarni muntazam takrorlab tursangiz, imtihonda birovning fikrini olasiz, yozib chiqasiz. IELTS o'qitayotgan o'qituvchingiz nima deydi sizga? Mana deydi, men shu fikrlarni ishlatdim, shu fikrlarni ishlatganim uchun IELTS'im, misol uchun writingim 7.5 chiqdi deydi. Bitta savol berib ko'ring-da, ustoz deng. Bu sizning fikringizmi, yo'q siz ham buni qayerdandir olganmisiz deng. 99% holatda o'qituvchingiz nima deydi? Agar rostini aytsa, men buni deydi paloncha readingda ko'rganman deydi. Paloncha sample o'qiganimda ko'rganman deydi. Paloncha narsani, misol uchun to'g'rimi, yangilik o'qiganimda shu narsani eshitganman deydi. Shuning uchun aynan writingga ishlaganda sample answer ko'rsangiz 6.5 dan 7 ga chiqaradi sizni. 7 bilan 7.5 da farqi oson. 7 bilan 7.5 da farqi ikkita tashni ulgurish. Task 1 ham task 2ni ulguryapsiz, vocab toza, grammatika toza, ideya zo'r va proofreading qilyapsiz. O'zingizda 4 ta 5 ta grammatika xatoyingizda va word choice agar takrorlanish bo'lsa yoki xato ketgan bo'lsangiz to'g'rilab qo'yasiz. O'zingiz o'ylab ko'ring-da, mana misol uchun. Men nima deyishim mumkin? Writingni agar ko'tarmoqchi bo'lsangiz, yoningizda o'tirgan o'rtog'ingizda essayni tekshirib ko'ring. Chunki odam o'zini xatosini topishga qaraganda birovning xatosini topish osonroq. Haqsiz rost ko'ryapsizlarmi? Amaki ham vaqtida lekin akshuryapti, to'g'rimi? Qarang, nima qilasiz? Sizga yoqmagan narsasini ko'ring-da. Nima deysiz? Deysiz, sen ideyang yaxshi emas deysiz. Deysiz, mana bu so'zni 4-5 marta ishlatibsan deysiz. Haqsiz rost. Deysiz, keyin deysiz, to'g'rimi? Grammatik xatolaring tiqilib yotibdi deysiz. Endi o'ylab ko'ring-da. IELTS imtihonini olayotgan odamlar ham bir kunda 20 ta essay o'qiydi. 20 tadan bir 4 ta 5 tasini sog'lom odam yozgan bo'ladi. Ya'ni ular shunaqa deb hisoblaydi. Habibni ingliz tilida gapirganini ko'rganmisizlar? Chet elliklar uchun Habib qanday odamga o'xshab ko'rinadi? G'ordan kelgan, tog'dan kelgan. Lekin Habib rus tilida yoki o'zini ona tilida gapirtirsa, u ham dunyoqarashuvlardan qolishmaydi. Siz essay yozganda inglizchaga yaqin, ya'ni ingliz tilida fikringizni to'g'ri yetkazib bera olishingiz uchun birovda essaylarni olsangiz, o'sish bo'ladi. Agar faqatgina o'zingiz fikringizni yozib chiqaversangiz, IELTSni 10 marta topshirmaysizmi? Baribir o'sha natijangiz chiqaveradi. 6.5 dan tepaga chiqmaysiz. Men Everestga kelgan paytim esimda bor, writingdan 7 olganimda 90% o'qituvchilarda writingi 7 yo'q edi. Mana sizlar hozir ko'rib turgan 8+ olgan o'qituvchilarda ko'pchiligida writing 7 yo'q edi. Sababini aytaman. Chunki ular o'z dunyosida yashab yurgandi. Tushunyapsiz-a? Birovning orqasidan gapirish yo yomonlashmas. Qaysi ma'noda o'z dunyosida o'z bilganicha yozadi, faqat bitta manbaga tayanib qoladi. Faqat o'z fikrini yozib chiqadi, IELTSdan 6.5 olib chiqadi. Potensial o'zi 7.5. Keyin nima qildi? Bir-biridan sal qiziqib so'radi. Nima qilyapsan? Nima qilyapsan? Ha, essay o'qiyapman. Ha, kurs sotib oldim. Ha, xatolarim ustida ishlayapman. Bir-biriga tekshirtirdi. O'qituvchilarning o'zida ham bo'lgan narsa aynan shu narsa bo'lyapti. Writing 6.5 dan 7, 7 dan 7.5 ga chiqdi. Endi qarang. Writingdan bilasiz, statistikaga ko'ra agar 100% dan oladigan bo'lsak, 2% odam 7+ oladi. То есть понимаете, да, получается, только 2% получают 7 и выше. Endi savol tug'iladi, nimaga, почему? Birinchi sabab, siz writingni yoqtirib practice qilmaysiz. Writing siz uchun har doim nima bo'ladi? Last resort deymiz-ku. Nima degani last resort? Last resort, oxirgi, so'nggi chora. To'g'rimi? Hozir bir minut bo'lmasa, rahmat. Last resort bo'lyapti-da. Listening qilasan, reading qilasan, writing nima bo'ladi? Kayfiyat yo'q, yozging kelmaydi. Uyda practice qilganingizda nima qilasiz? Listening qilasiz, reading qilasiz, writing-chi. Writingni qo'shib qilasizlarmi, yo'qmi? O'chib qolasizlar, yo'q, aytasiz, yo'q deysiz. Writingda keyingi safar o'zim o'tirib yozaman desanda qolib ketadi. Listening readingda bo'lsa nima? U yerda nima desam bo'ladi? Input, tayyor ma'lumot beryapti. O'shani tahlil qilib berishing kerak, ishlab berishing kerak. Writing bilan speakingning muammosi nima? Output. Yo'q narsadan, yo'qdan bor narsa yaratishing kerak. Noldan hamma narsani o'zing qilishing kerak. O'shaning uchun hozir siz qiladigan narsa writingga kuniga bitta essay yozing. To'g'ri, qiyin narsa, yo bir erish narsa tuyulishi mumkin. Writing bitta essay o'zi qilmaydigan narsani aytmasin degan kayfiyatda hozir o'tiribdi-da ko'pchilik. O'zing qilmasang bizga maslahatni berib nima qilasan? Endi qarang, men sizga tushuntirib beraman. Men o'zim qilgan narsani sizga aytayapman. Writingda kuniga bitta essay yozib, butun kun davomida o'sha essayimni kamchiligini yo'qotardim. Ya'ni qaytadan yozardim. O'sha mavzu o'zgarmayapti. Yoqmagan narsasini olib tashlayapman-da, o'rniga boshqa narsa yozyapman. Agar biron bir essayni 7 ga yoza olsangiz, 7 ga essayni chiqarsangiz, qolgan istalgan mavzuda ham 7 ga yoza olasiz. Xuddi shunaqa narsa speakingda. Agar speakingda ham 7 lik biron bir, to'g'rimi, model answer bera olsangiz, ma'lum bir mavzuga, qolgan mavzularga ham shu narsani chiqara olasiz. Ta'sir qiladi. Bitta essayni olib, keyin yana bitta eng zo'r narsalardan biri essayni yoz, birinchi o'zing. Keyin model answer ol. Ikkovini shunday qo'yganda solishtirgin, farqi nimada? Grammatika deysan, vocab deysan, yana nima farqi nimada? Fikr. Siz bilasiz, reading o'qigansiz. Readingda nima qiladi? Fikrni bergandan keyin nima beradi? Example beradi. Sizlarni bergan examplelaringda kamchilik nimada bo'ladi? O'qiyotgan odam writingingizni o'qigan odam savol tug'iladi-da. Bu nimaga berdi bu misolda deydi. Nima demoqchi bo'ldi deydi. Ya'ni example berasizda, example'da discuss qilmaysiz. Example'da relevantligini ko'rsatmaysiz. Example'da o'sha mavzuga aynan mos kelishini, shu mavzuni aynan yaqqol misoli bo'lishini ko'rsatib bera olmaysiz. Ya'ni striking example bo'lmaydi. Speaking nima? Endi speakingdan hali ko'p maslahat bera olmayman. Speaking 8 menda. 8,5-9 bo'lsa, o'ylashimcha to'g'rimi? Meni maslahatimdan ko'ra speakingdan 8,5-9 olgan odamlarning maslahatini olganingiz yaxshi. Lekin 8 ga qanday chiqardim? Speaking 1,5 yil oldin 7 edi. 7,5 8 ga qanday o'sdi? Eng katta xatolardan biri nima? Practice yetishmasligi. Ko'pchilik speakingda nima qiladi? Oxirgi 1 oy qolganda deydi. Speakingga tayyorlanaman deydi. Yo bir 3 hafta qolganda hamma mavzularni ko'rib chiqaman deydi, keyin imtihonda o'sha mavzudan bittasi tushadi. To'g'rimi? IELTS assistant aytayapman. IELTS assistantga mavzularni hammasini ko'rib chiqasizda, keyin topshiraman deysiz. Xato. Nimaga? Chunki hazm qilish degan narsa bor-da. Siz yegan narsangiz bilan hazm qilgan narsangiz farqi bor. Siz uni yeganingiz bilan agar hazm qila olmasangiz, tanangizga singmasa shu narsa foydasi bo'lmaydi. Speakingda ham shunaqa. Kuniga hozirdan boshlab bitta mavzu ko'ring. Bitta mavzuni 2-3 mahal kuniga qayta ishlang. Ertasi kuni yangi mavzu. Xuddi shu narsani qayta qilaversangiz, o'zi bor-ku bitta narsa. IELTS speaking assistantdagi mavzularda 2 oy deysizmi, 3 oy deysizmi, zo'r tahlil qilib, xatolaringizni ustida ishlab, grammatik xatolarni speakingda to'g'rilasangiz, 7+ chiqishi aniq. Keyingi narsa, imtihon sharoitida ko'pchilik nimaga tayanadi? Bilimiga tayanadi. Ya'ni biron bir mavzuga aqllilik qilsam deydi, ko'proq gapirsam deydi, yo bir yaxshiroq fikr bildirsam deydi, balim ko'tariladi deydi. 8 yoki 8,5 olaman deysiz. Imtihonda ular eng ko'p qaraydigan narsa bilasizmi nima? IELTS o'zi bor-ku, IELTS speaking exam emas, bu English conversation exam. It checks how effectively you communicate through English language. Ya'ni qanday daraja, qanchalik samaradorlik bilan ingliz tilida muloqot qilishingizni ko'rsatadi. Nima demoqchi bo'lyapman? Siz imtihonga kirganda birinchi o'rinda tabiiy bo'lishingiz kerak. Ko'p gapirish degani yaxshi gapirish degani emas. O'zi aslida qanaqa? The more you speak, the more mistakes you are making. To'g'rimi? Qanchalik ko'p gapirsang, shunchalik ko'p xato qilasan. Ikkinchisi, bitta narsa. Agar unfamiliar topic tushsa, tanimagan yoki bilmagan, to'g'rimi, ko'rmagan mavzu tushsa, bu dovdirash. Dovdiramaslik uchun siz har kuni IELTS dan tashqari daily conversation deymiz. Bilasizlar, o'rtoqlaring bor. Biz maktabda, litseyda o'qigan paytlarimiz nima deyardik? Bugundan boshlab maktabga borsak, faqat ingliz tilida gapiramiz deyardik. Kuniga 1 soat, 1,5 soat IELTS dan tashqari aynan daily conversation qilsangiz, biron bir so'z bilmasang, qarab olasan-da gapirasan. Sizda hozir javoblik degan narsa shakllanadi, ya'ni reaksiya. Notanish savolni berdimi, ko'p o'ylamaysiz. fikr keladi, fikrni ishonch bilan gapirasiz. Imtihonda IELTS topshirganingizda ular imtihon oladigan odamlar bitta narsani tez sezadi. Sizni stress holatidagiligingizni, sizni asabiylashayotganingizni. Agar speaking part 1 da shu narsani overcome qilib, yengib chiqa olsangiz, shu narsadan o'tib keta olsangiz, speaking part 2 va part 3 da olgan balingiz sizni kamida 8 qilib qo'yadi. Ko'pchilik nima qiladi? Birinchi sectionda agar birinchi to'g'rimi partda deylik, speaking partda qiynalsa, u yog'iga ham nima qiladi? Kayfiyati buziladi-da. Bu yog'iga ham o'xshamasa kerak, 6 olaman degan fikr kallasida tug'iladi. Agar siz shu narsaga, shu fikrga yo'l qo'ysangiz, speakingingiz underperformance bo'ladi. Ya'ni siz maksimal darajada o'zingizni ko'rsata olmaysiz. Speaking part 1 unchalik muhim emas. Part 1 da qizishib olish kerak. Part 1 da kayfiyatni ko'tarib, o'zingizga confidence oshirish kerak. Part 2 meni o'ylashimcha speakingda eng muhim narsa bu part 2. Part 3 da rostini aytaman sizga, ular sizdan bir dahshat javob kutmaydi. 7+ oladigan odamlardan ular siz Amerikani qayta kashf qilishingizni kutmaydi-da. Part 2 ni yaxshi gapirsangiz, 2 minut fluency bo'lsa, to'xtab qolmasangiz, ideyani yaxshi yoritib bersangiz, to'g'rimi? Pozitivda bo'lsangiz, ya'ni yerga qarab emas, patologga qarab emas, bir ko'ziga qarab gapirsangiz, meni o'ylashimcha speakingga 7+ qo'yadi. Part 3 nima? Part 3 ni ko'tarish uchun odam writingga ishlash kerak. O'zingiz ham sezgan bo'lsangiz kerak. Writingga ishlaganingizdan keyin speaking nima qilgan? Oshgan. Writingga ishlamasangiz speaking ham mos ravishda past bo'ladi. Ayniqsa part 3. Part 3 da bilasiz, academic discussion bo'ladi. Academic discussion bo'lganda u bergan counter argumentga siz yana bitta fikr bera olmasangiz yoki u sizni mut qilib qo'ysa, to'g'rimi? Ya'ni o'chirib qo'ysa, savol bilan yo bir xillari bo'ladi, ekzaminatorlar kulib o'tiradi. Mana poker face deymiz-ku, poker face qilib, qani nima deyar ekan degan kayfiyatda o'tiradi. Agar shu narsa sizga penetrate qilsa, sizga ta'sir qilsa, sizga teshib o'tsa, siz speakingingiz underperformance bo'ladi. Ya'ni kutgan natijani, o'zingiz qo'ygan maqsadning natijasini bera olmaysiz. Endi qarang, oxirgi narsa. Men o'ylashimcha speakingga yana bitta narsa, endi hamma har xil munosabat bildiradi bu narsaga, imitation degan narsa bor. Yoki bir xillar buni shadowing deydi. To'g'ri, hozir ko'pchilik shu narsani tanqid qilib chiqyapti. Shadowing yaxshi emas. Shadowing nima degani o'zi aslida? Biron bir 5 minutlik, 6 minutlik kimnidir conversation deymiz-ku, dialogi, to'g'rimi? Yoki monologini olasizda, taqlid qilasiz. O'sha odamni, misol uchun, to'g'rimi, roliga kirib, o'sha odamning aytgan gaplarini takrorlab taqlid qilishga harakat qilasiz. Yaxshi tarafi nima? Birinchidan pronunciation yaxshilanadi. Ikkinchidan fluency o'sadi. Siz o'sha odamni gapirgan gapiga qaratib, keyingi gaplaringizni ham yasa olasiz. Siz agar mana rus tilini o'rgangan bo'lsangiz, ko'pchiligingiz nima orqali o'rgangansiz? Odamlarni yoningizda gapirayotganini ko'rib, gaplashayotganini ko'rib, o'sha odam ishlatgan so'zlarni, ko'nikma, to'g'rimi, biron bir frazalarni unga javob tariqasida bergansiz. Aslan hozir nima qilmoqchi bo'lyapsizlar? Sizlar ingliz tilida biron bir native speakerni gapini eshitmasdan, native speakerning fikrlarini bilmasdan o'sha narsaga erishmoqchisiz. Kinoni olsa bo'ladi. Kinoni olingda, men misol uchun men o'zim kino ko'rishni yoqtiraman. Kinoni yarim soat 40 minutini xuddi shunaqa shadowing qilib chiqing. Imtihonga kirganingizda bu sizga bitta narsa edge deydi, to'g'rimi? Преимущество, ya'ni ustunlik beradi. Imtihonda ekzaminatoriga first impression zo'r chiqadi. First impression degani aynan nima? Birinchi savoldan, ikkinchi savoldan u sizda aynan tabiiy ravishda, o'zingizni bir chirantirmasdan, qiynamasdan gapirganingizni ko'radi. O'sha narsa. Tushunyapsizmi? Yaxshi bo'ldi. Boshlaymizmi? Evet. Okay, now ladies and gentlemen, look at the part 1. As you can see in part 1, you are given node completion type of questions, right? Luckily, we got all the questions on this type of. So look at the question number 1. You read the question, highlight the keyword. Recommendation surfing for family holidays. What was a substitution? What was a change? Do you know like ABBA technique? Rewarding. They said holidays for family. Holidays for family, holidays. In Uzbek like ala hoja, ala. In IELTS exam, about like 15 up to 20 questions in both listening and reading account for this technique. So they are using active voice, passive voice structures. They are like, instead of saying Oxford University, they say University of Oxford. That's what we call substitution or rewarding effect. Second question was quite easy. What was the keyword here? What was a single keyword? Now listen to me. Some of you have listening problems, or yes, like reading problems, because you cannot find a single keyword. In every question, there is always one single keyword. That's what we call X. In mathematics, do you know that function y consists of X? If the X changes, if variable changes, y will change accordingly. So here keyword is quiet. What is quiet? Do you know the meaning of quiet? First of all, you know it's an adverb, right? That means after adverb you will have to put adjective. What kind of adverb is that? Adverb of degree. Daraja miqdor. Наречие меры и степени. So we put answer fit because they say prati fit. What does it mean, prati? Synonym for quiet. Prati means ancha in Uzbek, довольно in Russian. The same thing with quiet, ancha, довольно. Answer is fit. Question number 3, good quality. You know what they did? First they told you answer, they told you hotels, and then they added really nice ones. So nice hotels, good quality hotels. Answer is hotels. Again, they are using the substitution. Instead of saying A, B, they are giving you B, A answer. That's why when you are actively listening, ladies and gentlemen, try to get the big picture. Don't wait for the answer. You know what's my secret? I always try to find out incorrect answers, distractors. I'm not the kind of person, when I come to IELTS exam, yes, I say I have a potential to get 9 and yes, like both 9 band scores in terms of listening and reading. So what is my purpose? What is my aim? Not to make a mistake. So I'm not gaining 9. I am securing, I'm protecting, I'm preserving my 9 band score. So you should have this pessimistic mindset when you are doing listening and reading, because whenever you are being pessimistic, you have higher attention level. So you say, okay, nice ones, hotels. Answer is hotels, right? Number 4, it was spelling. If you still have spelling mistakes, ladies and gentlemen, yes, you should practice book, namely like listening tactics. You know listening tactics? IELTS strategies, yes, they have plenty of exercise. Or I recommend you doing, there is a book called like Cambridge 2014 or Official Guide to IELTS. I think you did some practice, yes, a practical test from IELTS, Official Guide to IELTS. But there are like plentiful exercises. You can do each and every exercise one by one. And each exercise is like aimed at developing certain skills, like spelling skills, paraphrasing skills, and so on and so forth. Now let's move on. Look at the question number 5. What was the keyword here?
1.
Thank you. Keyword was 1. They said a week. What does it mean? That means 1. That's why answer is a week. What was a distractor? Hours. How many hours? 3 hours per day in a week. A week, that means 1 week. Now look at the question number 6. What they say? What was the keyword, by the way? Local. They again use the same technique. They say local, but in the listening they say it bay nearby. You see again, bay nearby. Nearby means in the vicinity, in your neighborhood, local. Local bay nearby. Now question number 7. What was the distractor? What was the incorrect answer? August. August was the incorrect answer because it rains a lot in August. We need a favorable weather conditions, right? Here, that's why we're opting for September. What did he say about September? Much warmer. Much warmer September, that means best months. You see, again, he provided answer first and put the keyword right after that. What is illusion about IELTS listening and reading? You are always expecting the keyword first and answer the second. But most of IELTS questions are reversing it. What is reversing? Changing the place, location. They gave you they provide the correct answers. They say yes, September, and after one or two words or sentences, they say in that period water is much warmer. That means best conditions. Now question number 8. What was the keyword here? Approximately. There is only one single word. Yes, keyword, approximately. What does it mean, approximately? Yes, around, about, plus, minus, but there is a second meaning of approximately, like average. You are putting correct answer 19. What was the distractor? 25. Why 25 is mistake? It is maximum. But the temperature will not go, higher than 25, more than 25. You are taking average, that's why answer will be 19. Now, question number 9. What was the correct answer? 30. What was the incorrect answer? 40. Now, can you explain what is the difference here between numbers 30 and 40? 30 is per day. But if you make, this payment for a week, you will get a discount of 40 pounds. 40 pounds incorrect because it's a discount that you will get if you pay in advance. But if you pay in one go for a day, you will have to pay 30 pounds. Now, please pay attention, like euros. The euros word is given, that's why you don't have to put this sign. You remember? Now, question number 10. What was the keyword? Advisable. So they are advising you to hire something. What does mean hiring? Taking, getting, obtaining, right? Booking. What was the keyword here? Make sure. The speaker said, please make sure that you have boots. Make sense? So what does it mean, make sure? For example, I can tell you ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you hand in all your answer sheets before you go. Make sure. So I'm giving you some instructions, recommendations, advice, piece of advice. Make sense? Let's move on. Now, questions, multiple choice questions, 11 and 12. Look at this now, multiple choice questions. Which two facts are given about school's extended hours childcare service? Now, ladies and gentlemen, how many questions you have here? You know what? You see 5 questions. I see, you see 2 questions. But I'm dealing with 5 questions now here. A, B, C, D options should be dealt as if they were true, false, not given type of questions. Now listen to me. Every time when you have these multiple choice questions, try to work on them as if they were true, false, not given. So we have 5 statements, 5 sentences, and 2 of them will be correct. So what is my task? You say to find 2 correct answers. No. What I'm doing, I will find 3 incorrect answers. So I'm working with the method of exclusion. What does it mean, way of exclusion? So what does it mean, method of exclusion? You are ruling out all the incorrect answers until you got these correct answers. If you look at probability, what is the probability of getting correct answers here? 40%. What is the probability of getting incorrect answers? 60%. So that's why if you rule out, cross out 3 incorrect answers, the remaining 2 will be correct answers. Now, look at the A option. Why A was incorrect? They say they opened it 10 years ago. Now listen to me. 10 years ago, can it be synonym for recently? If they say it 1 year or 2 years ago or 6 months ago, it would be recently. But their business have been operating for 10 years. That's why A is incorrect. It's false. B option now. More children attend after school than before school. Now listen to me. What does it mean after school? In the afternoon. What does it mean before school? Breakfast or morning. Now, do you remember numbers for after school? Usually for 50 up to 60. What about morning? Half of it. Now listen to me. In the afternoon, the number of students attending these classes are from 50 up to 60. They can go up to 70, but it rarely happens. Now listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. The average for afternoon is 50 to 60. What about morning? They say half of it. So can you just divide it by 2? 25 up to 30. Now they are saying us 50, 60 is more than 20, 25. Is that correct? So we have two numbers, 60, we have like 25, 30. Answer B is correct because we got these correct numbers. Now look at the C option. Average of 50 children attend in the morning. Incorrect. What is average? 25. Yes, in the morning time. They didn't say morning, they said breakfast. In breakfast, we have half of it, 25 students. 25 isn't equal to 50. That's why C incorrect. Rule it out. Now look at the D option. A child cannot attend both the before and after school sessions. So, was it provided in the, as a piece of information? Did you have this comparison or did you have this sentence like both? They cannot attend both or it is prohibited. No. D is typical not given. Information hasn't been mentioned. And the last option is E. Maximum number of children who can attend is 70. Is that correct? They can go up to 70, but no more than 70. So there is like upper limit, 70. Correct answers are B and E. Tak, endi qaraysiz, qarang. Sizga 5 ta variant berilganda, true false not given qilib ishlayapsiz, to'g'rimi? 2 ta to'g'ri javob chiqyapti, 3 ta xato javob chiqyapti. To'g'ri javoblarni topishga qaraganda noto'g'ri javoblarni aniqlash osonroq. Listeningda eng katta qilinadigan xatolardan biri nima? Mana o'qituvchilar aytmaydigan narsalardan biri to'g'ri javobni qidirishga harakat qildiradi. Ya'ni dars davomida sizga to'g'ri javob nima deb savol beradi. O'sha savolda agar o'zgartirsangiz, 3 ta noto'g'ri javobni top desangiz, o'quvchiga bu narsa osonroq beriladi. Tushunyapsizmi? Chunki odam tabiatan shunaqa. To'g'ri narsani topgandan ko'ra odamlarning kamchiligini, birovning kamchiligini topish osonroq. Tushunyapsizmi? A variantda aytamiz, xatoligi nimaga? 10 yil oldin ochilgan biznes. Bu yerda nima deyapti? Yaqinda. Yaqin o'tmishda. Xato. B ga qarayapsiz, nima deyapti? Obed vaqtida keladigan bolalarning soni ertalab keladigan bolalardan ko'p deyapti. To'g'ri? Obedda 50 ta 60 ta kelsa, ertalab nechta kelar ekan? Half of it dedi, 25 ta 30 ta. 60 25 dan kattaroq bo'ldi, javobingiz B ketyapti. C ga qaraysiz, o'rtacha 50 ta bola keladi deyapti, ertalab xato. Ertalab biz aytdik 25 ta. 50 ning yarmi dedi. Bu javobimiz nima ekan? C xato. D ga qaraysiz. D not given bo'ldi. Nimaga? Chunki bu haqida umuman ma'lumot bermadi. Ikkita gruppaga kelsa bo'ladimi, bo'lmaydimi, nima talablar bor, qo'shimcha to'lov bormi, bu haqida ma'lumot bermadi. Demak, D javobimiz not given ketyapti. Va E variantni aytib ketdi, maksimalda nechta bo'lar ekan? 70 taga chiqishi mumkin ekan, to'g'rimi? Nima dedi? Usually. Typically deyapti, ya'ni odatda 50 ta 60 ta, lekin but it can go up to 70. But no more than 70 deb ketdi. Keyingisiga qaraylik. How much does childcare cost for complete afternoon session per children? Yeah, per child. So what was the keyword here? Complete. There is only one single keyword, that is complete. So what does it mean complete? From the very beginning till the very end. A answer incorrect. Why? Because that's a price for 1 hour. B answer is incorrect. Why? Because it's for 2 hours. What about £7.20? It is from 3:30 up to 6 o'clock. Ya'ni 3:30 dan 6 gacha bo'lgan to'lov ketyapti. Javobingiz nima bo'ladi? C. Endi o'ylab ko'ring-da, complete degandan keyin nima bo'ladi? To'lov ham oshadi. Ya'ni qanchalik ko'p dars berilsa, qanchalik ko'p u yerda bolasiga qarab o'tirsa, shunchalik narxi ham oshib ketyapti. Listeningda o'zi prediction qilganingizda ham eng musur javob bo'lyapti. Nimaga? Eng kichkina son. Complete degani to'liq, boshdan oxirigacha degandan keyin narxi balandroq bo'lishi kerak. B variant bo'lishi mumkin. Nimaga? Chunki listening qilganda ular nima deb aldaydi? Hozirgi narxi 5 funt 70 misol uchun to'g'rimi pens deydi. Lekin kelajakda biz deydi, uni 720 qilmoqchimiz deydi. Tushunyapsizmi? Demak, mana bu agar future'ga reference berganda men C ni xato deb belgilardim. Chunki question nima qilingan? Present simple deb berilyapti. Hozirgi zamondagi narx. Bizga nima dedi? 1 soati paloncha, 2 soat paloncha, C varianti keyin full deb ketdi. Demasa ham C javob to'g'ri bo'lardi. Keyingisiga qaraylik. Question number 14. What does a manager say about food? Now look at the A option. Children with allergies should bring their own food. False. Now can you prove me why it's false? Because they are offered alternatives. What does it mean? They are offered alternatives. They are given other type of food. If they are allergic to certain type of food, they will be given alternatives. A incorrect. Now look at B option. Children may bring healthy snacks with them. Snacks provided. What does it mean provided? Yes, they are given by kindergarten. No need to bring. B is incorrect. Now C. Children are given proper meal at 5 p.m. Is that correct? Children are provided a good meal, a full meal. That is C option. Now look at the question number 15. What is different about arrangements in the school holidays? So what is a keyword? Different. What does it mean, school holidays? Do you know that during summer holidays you have school camps? Even in Uzbekistan, in some years, let's say, especially I know that in cities they are organizing these school camps. Students can attend these camps free of charge. Now look at the A option. Children from other schools can attend. One difference is your children can make new friends as long as students from other schools will attend this school camp. Make new friends, new students from other schools. A answer is correct. Now B, older children can attend. What did she say? She said, I'm afraid, but we cannot allow their brothers. Parents asked it. So what was the case? Parents asked it if their elder children can join these school camps. And this person in charge is saying, I'm afraid, but you cannot bring your elder children. That's our policy. Why? Can you tell me why? Because they don't have insurance, a type of insurance. Nimani sabab ko'rsatyapti? Kattaroq bolalarni olib kela olmaysiz, chunki bizni strafovka deymiz-ku, sug'urta. Sug'urtamiz unga moslashmagan deyapti. Now look at the C option. Greater number of children can attempt. It's like not given option. Let's move on. Question number 16. Now, listen to me. Whenever you are dealing with matching feature questions, ladies and gentlemen, matching features questions, one of the biggest problems that you are facing is multitasking. So you have to put the correct answer, plus you have to, yes, ladies and gentlemen, be attentive to information in options. To be honest, I'm not good at multitasking. That's why what I do, I start making comments. So I just read A, B, C, D, F, G options, highlight the keyword. Now listen to me. But I am not putting letters. What I do, I usually look at, yes, each option and make some comments. For example, I'm reading you out my Spanish comments. Specialist teacher, 2 sessions, extra charge. Only this course requires you to provide extra charge. Now, when I have 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, after the listening, I am looking at my notes and saying, extra charge. What does it mean, extra charge? Money. That is E. That's why question number 16, answer is additional fee. Here, you can put your ABC options, but in real IELTS exam, these options can be longer. They can be full sentences. And when you have these full sentences, it's really challenging to to keep this information in your mind. That's why I'm taking notes. Now look at the 17, music. What were the comments about music? One of the staff members are conducting music classes, singing and percussion. So they are like naming 2 or 3 types of instruments. And then they add and say parental support is needed. What does it mean, parental support? Now, can you find me the correct answer? Parental support requires help from parents. Again, now look. Help from parents, parental support. Ala khoja, ala. Substitution, paraphrase. Now let's move on. Look at the painting. What were the comments about painting? Extra mass, too much mass. Give young, blah, 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 blah. Yes? Then like, ask it. So my answer is G. I'm saying G because they were like, young, love it. Rely on their support. Okay, this sort of thing. Okay, that's G. Now look at yoga. What were the comments about yoga? Can you tell me? Not able to find anyone who would conduct it until now. They have used it present perfect. We haven't been able to find a person who will conduct yoga classes until now. What does it mean, until now? That means now it is available. Now it is a new activity. That's why answer is going to be F. Now you see, they are not saying new. They are using present perfect. When we use present perfect, you remember? We use present perfect when we want to provide a new piece of information. News. So answer is F. And the last question is cooking. So we have cooking. They say, the speakers say, young people love cooking. They do a lot of mass. That's why we have decided to restrict them to over 8s. Over 8s. Restrict synonym for what? Limit. No. For over 8s only, right? Okay, that's why answer is going to be C. Now look at the question 21. As you can see in question 21 up to 24, you are again given multiple choice questions, right? Holly has chosen the Orient Stadium placement because. Now let's again do true, false, not given practice. Did you understand? So now I will be asking my assistant Sardor, he will be putting on the recording, and ABC options you will be ruling out. And there is only one correct answer left. You are not searching for correct answers. You will change your strategy. You will have to look for incorrect answers. Okay, Sardor. Question 21 up to 24, you have multiple choice questions. Now, what is the keyword in the question itself? Wholly chosen Orient Stadium placement because. Reason. So she needs to provide a reason. Why did she choose that particular stadium?
You will hear the manager of a childcare service at a primary school talking to parents at an open day about the school.
Okay, scroll this out.
Service offered before and after. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15.
My name's Mrs. Carter and I run the before and after school extended hours childcare service.
Yaxshi, 21-ga tahlil qilaylik bo'lmasa birinchi. Nima dedi u? Uni o'zini Holly'ning aytgan gaplari nima bo'ldi? I would like to do something in fresh air dedi, to'g'rimi? And fresh air attracts me dedi.
I'm here to talk to you about my work placement.
Oh yes, it's Holly, isn't it?
Yes.
So, which work placement have you chosen?
I decided to go for the Orion Stadium placement. The event I'll be managing is one where I'm helping to set up a sports competition for primary school children.
Yep, that's always a popular placement. Even though it can be tougher than you think, working with children.
Okay, pause.
I know.
You know, it can be tougher than you think, deyapti. Ya'ni children haqida ma'lumotni beryapti, aytayapti, keyin nima deyapti? Sen o'ylaganingga qaraganda qiyinroq bo'lishi mumkin, deyapti. Birdaniga qaysi variantga qarayapsiz? Ega. Lekin e'tibor beringda, kalit so'z bu yerda bor-ku, bilasizlarmi nima? Holy. Ya'ni ikkita odam bo'lgani uchun siz aynan holy'ni sababini eshitishingiz kerak. U o'zini sababini o'zi beradi. Siz meni o'rnimga gapira olmaysiz, men sizning o'rningizga biror bir gapni ayta olmayman. Shuning uchun o'qituvchi bergan variant bu yerda to'g'ri javob emas. U hozir nima qiladi? Xatoni to'g'rilaydi va sababni o'zi berib ketadi.
But it's the fresh air that attracts me.
Stop.
Organising something.
But deyaptimi? Variant shuni olib tashlaysiz. Nimaga? Chunki but degandan keyin nima qilyapti bu yerda? Zidlov ketyapti. Противопоставление ketyapti, to'g'rimi rus tilida? Zidlovni bergandan keyin nima qilasiz endi bu yoqqa? Shuni olasizda A variant olib tashlayapsiz. But fresh air attracts me deyapti. Fresh air degandan keyin nima bo'ladi? Toza havo. Toza havo degani outdoors bo'lyapti. A variant olib tashladingiz, B ni to'g'ri javob deyapsiz. Davom ettiring.
Indoors doesn't have the same appeal, even though it might be fun.
Pauzani to'xtat. Indoors doesn't have the same appeal. Appeal nima degani? Chiroy, go'zallik. Ya'ni agar binoni ichida o'tkazsak, bunaqangi chiroyli, bunaqangi qiziq bo'lmaydi deyapti. Tushunyapsizmi? Keyingisiga qaraylik endi. 22-savol bo'lyapti. Which aspect of safety does Dr. Green emphasizes most deyapti. E'tibor berasiz endi keyingisiga qarang. Kalla so'z ketyapti. Dr. Green safety aspect emphasize most. Agar bitta so'zda kalla so'z qilib belgila deganda qaysini tanlardingiz? Most. Ya'ni uni o'zi mana bu most degan so'zga sinonim berish kerak, perifrazka berish kerak, to'g'rimi? Endi qarang, sizga berilgan 3 ta variantni o'qib chiqdingiz. Har biriga kalla so'zni belgilab chiqdingiz. Ensuring children stay, checking equipment, removing obstacles. When the A option was provided, he said exactly, inspect, blah, blah, blah. What was the keyword? Main priority. Your main priority, he is saying to Holly, is not to lose anyone. Sen uchun nima degan priority? Birinchi darajali masala. Your priority, sening birinchi darajali masalang hech kimni yo'qotmaslik bo'lyapti. Tushunyapsizmi? Qo'yguncha.
Hey, so obviously safety is going to be one of your key concerns for this event?
Yes, I've already thought about that. I'll need to make sure none of the equipment's damaged.
Ah, well, you'll be working with schools.
Stop.
The equipment.
Nimaga bexato ekan? Eshityapsizmi? You will be working with schools and it will be their responsibility. Ya'ni equipment seni ishing emas. Mana qaraylik, ikkita odam turibdi, hozir kamera bo'lyapti, to'g'rimi? It's not my responsibility. It will be their responsibility. That means B option is incorrect. Keyingisini eshitamiz.
It will be their responsibility. However, the grounds and what goes on there will be yours.
Oh, I see. That'll include keeping everyone within the boundary once they're in their kit and on the field?
Exactly. You'll need to inspect areas like changing rooms as well, for anything someone can trip over, but your main priority will be not to lose anyone.
Okay, stop it. You see, he says, your main priority is not to lose anyone. I will repeat, your main priority is not to lose anyone. That's why answer is going to be what? A. Now, question number 23. What does Dr. Green say about the spectators? Keyword is Dr. Green. They can be hard to manage, not always easy. You can, it will be tough to ask them to move elsewhere. B and C, they make useful volunteers. They shouldn't take photographs. So what is the correct answer? A option is correct answer. Why? Because he himself says it's not easy to deal with them, especially parents. So he says that most of them are parents taking snap of their children. And you cannot control them when they want to take a shot. You cannot control that means they will be moving everywhere. They can go to the ground, to the pitch, and you will not be able to stop them. Tushunyapsizmi? Qo'yib olgancha.
Right. I'll need staff to help with that.
And don't forget about the spectators.
I was thinking that many of them will be parents who could help run the event.
I wouldn't rely on that.
Okay,
I'm
stop
more
it.
interested in film.
Sure. She says that most of them will be parents and they will be glad to help. And he says, the person here, professor says, I wouldn't rely on that. What does it mean, I wouldn't rely on that? Crossing out B answer. You cannot rely on parents. Make sense? Okay, go on.
Their children and volunteering.
I'll need to make sure they don't interfere with events doing that.
And that's not always easy, especially when a proud parent's trying to get a snap of their child.
Okay, stop it. I should make sure that they will not intervene. What does it mean, intervene? aralashmoq, interrupt degani, tushunyapsizmi yoki butt in degan ma'noda ketyapti. And this will not be easy. Not easy, hard to manage. Answer is A. Now question number 24. What has affected schedule in the past? What is the key word? In the past. Qo'ying.
Move elsewhere.
Okay. What about the scheduling?
With sporting events, there are all sorts of things that can alter the timetable, like rain, for instance. Though, so far, we've always been lucky with that.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Now you see, rain might intervene. But we are saying, you see, he says, we have been lucky so far. We have been lucky so far, that means we haven't had such a condition. Make sense? That's why you are crossing out A option. Let's move on.
And I was thinking about what to do if someone got hurt as well. I know that last year that caused a terrible delay.
Okay, stop it.
You have to be...
You see, I don't know what to do in case somebody is hurt. That happened to be last year. That caused a delay last year. What does it mean? That caused a delay last year. O'tgan yili shu sababga ko'ra odamlar navbatda qolib ketishgan. Travma bo'lganiga. Let's move on.
prepared for such things.
Oh, what if a match ends in a draw? Do you let the teams keep going until someone wins?
That'll be up to you. And again,
Stop it.
you need to plan for it.
Which tense is being used? That will be up to you. What does it mean will be? In the future. But the question is asking us about past. That's why correct answer is going to be what? Correct answer is C. Right? I'm joking. Correct answer is B. To be hurt, that means to get a certain injury. Now, questions 25 up to 30. You are again given what? Matching features type of questions. Look at matching features. So you are given like list of events, management skills, and important aspects. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. You have this like, yes, two speakers here. And just looking into the questions, can you tell me whose recommendations should I follow? Students or the teachers, mentors? Yes, mentor will be giving correct answers. So here, if you pay attentively, yes, if you listen attentively what that teacher, mentor says, he will be providing you correct answers. For example, communication, we said answer is C, having a smart appearance. What did that person, that speaker say? It's not all about what you say. And she said, I got it like yes, I need to dress up accordingly. What does it mean, dressing up accordingly? Having a smart appearance. What does it mean, smart here? It's not about like intelligence here. Smart appearance, it means about smart clothes. Having official or formal clothing. Ya'ni mos ravishda kiyinishing kerak deyapti. Tushunyapsiz-a? Savdo qo'yguncha.
Right.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at questions.
Now, the aim of your work placement is to give you the opportunity to develop the skills that an events manager needs. So, let's talk about those a bit.
Well, I think my communication skills are pretty good. I can talk on the phone to people and book venues and that kind of thing.
Good. Just remember, it isn't only about what you say. If you meet someone face to face and want to persuade them to be a sponsor, for example.
Oh, I'll dress up for that, sure.
Okay, stop it. You see, it's not only about saying. She says, I know I need to dress up. Dress up, that means having a smart appearance, having formal clothing. Now, organization. I made some notes. I said prepare to make changes. Prepare to make changes. Okay, being flexible. Answer is A. Why? Because that person says you should be prepared to make changes. Changes, flexibility. What does it mean, flexible? Adaptable, flexible, moslashuvchi. Make changes degani o'zgartirish, kiritish. Qo'ygan.
Let's go on to think about your organizational skills. You're working in a very people-based industry, and that means things won't always go to plan.
I guess it's being prepared to make changes that matters.
That's right. You may have to make An on-the-spot change to a timetable because of a problem you hadn't anticipated.
Just do it. Okay.
Stop it.
How's your time?
Now you see, each time correct answer is being accepted. What does mean accepted? To'g'ri javobni ular qabul qilyapti. Birinchi 25 ga right dedi. Right degani xo'p degan ma'noda ketyapti. Keyingisi just do it. Qilaman deyapti. Tushunyapsiz? Har doim ikkita odam mana bu yerda mana 83 ta nima desak, futbol o'ynaydi. Bir-biriga to'pni uzatadi. To'p kimda qolib ketsa, 90% holatda o'sha to'g'ri javob. Bitta agar variantni aytsa, ikkinchi odam uni tasdiqlasa, ya'ni o'shanisi approval bo'lsa, o'sha javob har doim to'g'ri bo'layapti. Keyingisiga qaraysiz, time management ketyapti. Now look at time management. How respond, be calm, no one, blah blah blah, hide, blah blah blah, under pressure. So that means you should learn how to respond. You should tend to be calm, and you should let no one see your emotions, feelings when you are under pressure. So I'm looking for answers, and my answer is being D, hiding your emotions. Not let anyone know your emotions. Not let, hiding. Under pressure, and we have calm. The word is calm. So you know that calm, being calm, is an example of what? Emotions. It's like in the question you were said fruit, yes, but in the recordings they are calling you, like telling you apple. So you should know that apple is synonym for what? Fruit. Let's move on.
Time management these days.
I'm working on it. I'm certainly better when I have a deadline, which is why this work suits me.
Yes, but it's how you respond as that deadline approaches.
I know I've got to look calm, even if I'm in a panic.
Just think to yourself, no one must know I'm under pressure.
Yeah, even though I'm multitasking like crazy.
Okay, stop it. No one should know that no one must know that you are under pressure. Be calm. Don't let anyone that you are under pressure. That means hiding your emotions, right? Now, 28, creativity. What was the keywords? Big picture, management points, fill the gaps. What does it mean, filling gaps? Yes, filling gaps. Bo'shliqlarni to'ldirib ketishing kerak. Now I am looking through. A, being flexible, no. Focusing on details, answer is B. Focusing on details, that means being flexible. Okay, put on.
Another skill that events managers need is creativity. Often your client has what we call the big picture idea, but it's up to the events manager to think of all the fine points that go to making it work.
Right. So I need to listen carefully to that idea and then fill in all the gaps.
Okay,
That's right.
Stop it.
And
You see, she is making some what? She's learning a lesson. She's making some assumptions. I need to fill in some gaps. Finding out more details or focusing on details. Now, question number 29. What was the key word? Ultimate choice. You make ultimate choice. What does it mean? Ultimate. Final. Last. So you are making last choice, ultimate choice, and do what you think. He is suggesting to do whatever I think. Now I'm looking through options. A, no. B, already use it. Smart appearance, we use it. Hiding emotions, we use it. Relying on experts, not given here. Trusting your own ideas. Trusting your own ideas to do what you think, making your ultimate choice. Put it on.
I have a team working under you, so another key skill is leadership. Your team may have lots of ideas too, but you've got to make the ultimate choices. Do we have refreshments inside or out, for example?
Isn't it better to be democratic?
It's a nice idea, but you have the ultimate responsibility. So believe in what you think best. Be prepared to say, yes, that's a good idea, but it won't work here.
I see what you mean.
Okay, stop it.
What about the network?
Now, you see how she reacts. She says, I see what you mean. Whenever you got this correct answer, it's always being approved by other person. If she refuses to take this piece of advice, it will be incorrect. Har doim to'g'ri javobni orqasidan nima qilishadi? Endi dehqoncha qilib aytadigan bo'lsa, bixlashadi. Tushunyapsizmi? Ya'ni nima demoqchi? O'sha javobni orqasidan, "Xo'p, men tushundim, aytganingizni qilaman" degan gapni qiladi. Bu nima uchun qilinyapti? Siz hozir aytilgan gapni eslab, agar o'tkazib olgan bo'lsangiz, to'g'ri javob qilishingiz uchun sizga yordam berishyapti. Oxirgi savolga qaraysiz. 30-savol ketyapti, to'g'rimi? 3-sectionda. Networking. What did she say? It will help when I get a real job. It will help when I get a real job. Now, look at the options. Thinking of future. Answer is H. Question number 30, answer is H, because when you say it will help me in my future job, you are thinking of future. Put on.
Side of things. I know it's an area that a lot of students worry about because we don't have much experience to offer others.
But even without it, you can still be an interesting person with useful ideas, and the more people you impress, the better.
I guess that will help me when I apply for a real job.
Exactly. Think ahead.
Now stop
Remember
it.
what your am-
Networking, they paraphrase it like more people you know. What does it mean, networking in Uzbek? Tanish bilish. More people you know, it will help you in your future job. Thinking of future. The answer is H. Okay, now part 4, question 31 up to 40. You have question number 31. You read this question. It was believed that birds hibernated. What does it mean? Hibernated, slept. Birds slept underwater or buried themselves. What is the keyword here? Buried in. What does it mean? Buried in? Ko'milgan. They buried themselves in. Yani ular o'zini nimadir ichiga ko'mgan. You have options for it. It can be ground, it can be soil, it can be some substance, material. Biron bir tushunamsiz, modda, yergami, boshqa biron bir joyga ko'mgan bo'lyapti. Okay, put it on.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Scientists believe that a majority of the Earth's bird population migrate in some fashion or other. Some travel seasonally for relatively short distances, such as birds that move from their winter habitats in lowlands to mountaintops for the summers. Others, like the Arctic tern, travel more than 25,000 miles seasonally between the northern and southern poles.
Okay.
Bird migrations. But until relatively recently, where birds went to in the winter was considered something of a mystery. The lack of modern science and technology led to many theories that we now recognize as error-filled and even somewhat amusing. Take hibernation theory, for example. 2,000 years ago, it was commonly believed that when birds left an area, they went underwater to hibernate in the seas and oceans.
Now listen, you see that they have covered the first part. Now I will ask you, can you tell me what will be the synonym for or? You see the or?
Yes.
So whenever you get the correct answer, you should tell me. Okay, put it on.
Another theory for the
Stop it.
regular appearance.
Now listen to me. How we call this type of words? Signposting words. Whenever you got this lecture, they are giving you some words like instructions that will help you to proceed, to continue, to go on. When you see the word another, it is synonym for or, and you are like paying close attention to buried themselves. You need to identify what is a synonym for buried themselves. Move on.
And disappearance of birds was that they spent winter hidden in mud till
Okay,
the
stop
weather
it.
changed and
They spent winter hidden in mud. What does it mean? Hidden in. Buried in. Bekingan, ko'milgan. Answer is mud. Tuproq, loy degan ma'noda ketyapti, to'g'rimi? Okay, let's move on. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I will be, listen to me, taking it easy, relaxing until I come up with keyword transmutation, then until that person starts talking about autumn. Ya'ni siz bitta narsani tushuningda, siz oxirgi 10 minut qolyapti, attention baribir 100% qila olmaysiz. Shuning uchun kalit so'zlarni belgilab qo'yasiz. Transmutation theoryni aytgandan keyin bitishga qo'yasiz. Men nima qilaman o'zim? Har bir bosqichdan o'tsa, har bir etapdan bitta-bitta o'tib ketsa, bittadan bitishga qo'yaman. Ya'ni transmutationni aytdimmi? Bitishga, galochka. Keyin to autumnga kelmaguncha e'tibor bermayman. Oltin deb boshlagandan keyin yana e'tibor beramanda, qaytamanda, kalit so'zga qarab to'g'ri javob belgilab tashlayman. Tushunyapsiz? Eng ko'p ularda qiladigan triklari, yolg'onlari nima? Ba'zi paytlar savollar bilan savollarning orasidagi masofani cho'zadi. 34-savolni beryapti-da, orada bir 20-30 sekund nima qilyapti? Off topic gapiryapti, irrelevant gapiryapti. Bu yerda berilmagan ma'lumotlarni aytayapti-da, sizni chalg'ityapti. O'sha chalg'itgan vaqtda kim nima qiladi? Oldinga o'tib ketadi. Ya'ni ba'zi birlar oldinga o'tib ketadi, kimdir orqada qolib ketadi, lekin aslida uni sizga yordam berish uchun bergan bo'ladi. Off topic gapirgan payti siz 34-35 deymizmi? 40-savolgacha yana bir marta ko'z yugurtirib chiqishingiz mumkin. Ko'ryapsizmi? Ma'nosi to'g'ri kelmayapti deb bitta ko'z yugurtirib chiqing. Bitta o'zingizga kalit so'z belgilab qo'ying. Men uchun hozir mana transmutation. O'zi leksiyaga qarasangiz qarang, bitta, ikkita, uchta, to'rtta qismdan iborat ekan. Har bir qismga o'tayotganda kirish qismi introduction qiladi. Qo'yguncha mana ko'rsatamiz.
Food became abundant again. The theory that some birds hibernate persisted until experiments were done on caged birds in the 1940s, which demonstrated that birds have no hibernation instinct. One of the earliest naturalists and philosophers from ancient Greece was Aristotle, who was the first writer to discuss the disappearance and reappearance of some bird species at certain times of year. He developed the theory of transmutation, the seasonal chain.
Mana shu yerda endi qarang, ko'ryapsiz. Transmutation degan so'zni beryapti, to'g'rimi? Transmutationni hozir beryapti, men galishkani qo'yaman. Aristotelda ham aytib o'tdi. O'zimga bitta galishka qo'yaman. 32-savolga shuni qarayman-da, nima deyman? He observed red stars experience loss of. Red stars nima ekan bu? Qush. Qushda biron bir turi. Ularda nimasidir to'kiladi, tushib ketadi, yo'qoladi. Loss degan so'zni bilasiz. To'kilish. Hair loss nima degani? Odamlar soch to'kiladi misol uchun, to'g'rimi? O'sha biron bir o'zini tanasidagi bo'layotgan o'zgarishlar. O'zi mutation degan so'zga e'tibor bering. Nima degani mutation? O'zgarish. Odamda organizmida biron bir yangiliklar bo'lishi, to'g'rimi? Qo'ygin.
Of one species into another by observing redstarts and robins. He observed that in the autumn, small birds called redstarts began to lose their feathers, which convinced Aristotle.
Redstarts started losing their feathers. Feathers, like yes, accent, you can call feathers, feathers, American, British pronunciation. Feathers, nima degan? Patlar. Feathers ham bitta narsa. Qarang shu yerda, agar aksentni yaxshi bilmasangiz, British American accent, Australian accent, ba'zi bir to'g'rimi, Mexican yoki Spanish accentlarni ham o'rganib qo'ymasangiz, eshitmasangiz, feather nima deb o'ylab o'tirasiz. Lekin kimdir sizga feather desa, joyida topasiz. Mana bitta mana listeningda bor edi, it's a long way deyapti. It's a long way. Way nima degani? Yo'l degani, to'g'rimi? Aslida it's a long way to. T'ni talaffuz qilmayapti. It's a long way. Mana Cambridge 7ni ochinglar. Cambridge 7ni birinchi testini ochadigan bo'lsangiz, 5-mi 6-savolda yozib qo'ygan. It's a long way dedi. It's a long way dedi-da, keyin javobini ochib qarasang nima deb yozgan bo'ladi? It's a long way to bo'ladi. Silent qilib aytayapti-da, t'ni talaffuz qilmayapti. Tushundingizmi? Mana bu yerda ham xuddi shunaqa. Feathers, feathers. British American accentda gapiryapti. Keyingisini qo'ygan.
That they changed into robins for the winter and back into redstarts in the summer. These assumptions are understandable given that this pair of species are similar in shape, but are a classic example.
Given that these species, these animals are similar in shape. Similar in shape, similar shape. Nimaga bu yerda endi qo'ya olmaysiz? Birinchidan one word only deyapti. Ikkinchidan nima bo'lyapti? Siz similardan keyin ot qo'yishingiz kerak. In shape deganda bu yerda aynan to'g'rimi? Ma'nosi o'zgarib ketadi. Similar in shape bo'lmaydi. Javobi similar shape. Mana qaranglar, has. Had a plus adjective plus singular noun. Noun kerak. In qo'ysangiz bu endi noun emas, adverbga aylanib qolishi mumkin. Keyingisiga qaraylik. Charles Morton popularized the idea that birds fly to the moon. Fly to the moon javobi sinonim nima bo'ldi? Travel to the moon ketyapti. Keyingisiga qaraylik. Question number 35. In 1822, a stork was killed in Germany, which had an African spear in its neck. Paraphrase qilmadi. In its neck. Qaranglar, itsni ham o'zgartirmadi. Its neck dedimi? Itsga qarab qo'yaverasiz, qo'ygan.
Of an incorrect interpretation based on correct observations. The most bizarre theory was put forward by an English amateur scientist, Charles Morton, in the 17th century. He wrote a surprisingly well-regarded paper, claiming that birds migrate to the moon and back every year.
Stop it. Fly to, migrate to, answer is moon. Okay, let's move on.
Came to this conclusion as the only logical explanation for the total disappearance of some species. One of the key moments in the development of migration theory came in 1822, when a white stork was shot in Germany. This particular stork made history because of the long spear in its neck.
Okay, stop it. Because of its long spear or long spear in its neck, right? Answer is neck. Let's move on.
Incredibly, had not killed it. Everyone immediately realized this spear was definitely not European. It turned out to be a spear from a tribe in Central Africa. This was a truly defining moment in the history of ornithology because it was the first evidence that storks
Okay, stop it.
spend their winter.
Now you see it says first evidence. What does it mean, first evidence? That means it has been no evidence before. When something happens for the first time, you are using present perfect. The same thing happens here. If something hasn't happened, has had no happening, that means it's happening for the first time. Answer is evidence. What is the synonym for first? No. No before. Or present. No previously. No previously stands for the synonym of first. Let's move on.
In sub-Saharan Africa. You can still see the arrow stork in the zoological collection of the University of Rostock in Germany. People gradually became aware that European birds moved south in autumn and north in summer, but didn't know much about it until the practice of catching birds and putting rings on their legs became established. Before this, very little information was available about the actual destinations.
Okay, stop it.
particular species.
Little was known about its actual destinations. Plural noun, you see? Destination plus S. Let's move on. By the way, question number 38. What is a keyword? Huge. What was the synonym for huge? Vast oceans, huge oceans. And I think easiest question was question number 39. Why? Call it the, known as. Whenever you have this, ladies and gentlemen, quotation marks, they will use the words like name it as, call it as, known as. And the last question was what? First atlas. What is the synonym for the word first here? Now, they said an atlas. What does it mean, an atlas? Do you remember when you tell about something for the first time, you use a article. For example, I had a sandwich for lunch. Next time you say the sandwich. So synonym for first here is an, because it is mentioned for the first time. When you mention something for the first time, you use article an. Birinchi marta biron bir narsa haqida gapirganingizda qanday artikel ishlatasiz? A yoki an. Bu yerda sizga o'zi chiroyli qilib nima qilyapti? First degan so'zni berib qo'yapti. Ular listeningda an atlas deyapti, siz bo'lsa first atlas deb qo'yapsiz. Qo'yib yuborgan.
Travelled there. People speculated that larger birds provided a kind of taxi service for smaller birds by carrying them on their backs. This idea came about because it seemed impossible that small birds, weighing only a few grams, could fly over vast oceans.
Vast oceans, huge
This idea
oceans.
was supported
Vast oceans, huge oceans. Move on.
by observations of bird behavior, such as the harassment of larger birds by smaller birds. The development of bird ringing by a Danish schoolteacher, Hans Christian Cornelius Mortensen, made many discoveries possible. This is still common practice today and relies upon what is known as recovery. This is when...
Stop it. What is known as recovery? In quotation marks, you are putting the word recovery. The last one?
Birds are found dead in the place they have migrated to and identified. Huge amounts of data were gathered in the early part of the 20th century, and for the first time in history, people understood where birds actually went to in winter. In 1931, an atlas was published.
Okay, thank you. An atlas was published. In 1931, an atlas was published to illustrate. Illustrate synonym for? To show. That's it. Now you are opening your reading passages. And we will start with the question number 1. Sardo opens the presentation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will start this reading analysis. Okay, Sardo, next slide, please. We will start with reading passage 1. If you remember, for reading passage 1, first you had matching heading type of questions, right? Okay, now. Next slide, please. You know what I usually do when I have this multiple, like matching heading type of questions? I have two techniques. I can try out to find the correct answer by looking at the paraphrases in the text. Or there is another way, I call it method of exclusion. So I read a paragraph and look through options like headings 1 to 10, 1 to 11. And I will, ladies and gentlemen, pick out the answer that is going to be like true in this context. If I got two true answers, like two correct answers, I will have to choose one of them. I will go for general one. For example, you look at the question number 1. Question number 1, you have paragraph D, right? And my answer is going to be 9. Why I am putting question like answer number 9 for paragraph D? I am looking for keywords, probably not. What does it mean, probably not? Impossible, right? Or maybe not. Not early version of football. Keyword, not early version of football. And now when I come back to the passage, I see this part, related part of the passage. I see that it is located in paragraph D at the end. The game remained popular, blah, 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 blah. Although it was taken to England, it is doubtful whether it can be considered as forerunner of contemporary football. Now listen to me. What does it mean, forerunner? Forerunner, for that, ancestor, all of them are previous versions. Forerunner. And I see contemporary football. And I see the word doubtful. What does it mean, doubtful? When you are doubting something, that means you are not sure. You say probably, maybe, or maybe not. And now, while I'm looking at this answer, answer is 9. Why? Because I got synonym for probably not, doubtful. I got synonym for contemporary football, that is football. And I got synonym for forerunner, that is early version. Make sense? Second question. Now, I'm looking at the second question. That is paragraph E. I am looking through options 1 to 10, one by one. I ask myself a question. Is information about limited success given in paragraph E? No. Opposition is not mentioned here. No. A way of developing moral values? No, it's not given here. And I will proceed until I reach, yes, option number 10. Heading number 10. And I see that chaotic thing is given here. I'm highlighting keywords. Chaotic activity with virtually no rules. And as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, we have chaotic activity. That is a game. The game which is disorganized, more spontaneous. What does it mean, spontaneous? Not planned. When you do something spontaneously, you do it like yes, immediately, without thinking, without planning. Disorganize it, not arrange it. That means no rules. And I see indefinite number of players. That is example for no rules. You know that in every type of football there are sets of rules, regulations. They are limiting number of participants. They are limiting, yes, ladies and gentlemen, some passes or making some requirements. That's why I see that indefinite number of players means no rules. Here is another thing, kicking opponents. When you are kicking your opponents, that means you lack some rules or you are not obedient to them. Make sense? Okay, next question, please. Now we are looking at question number 3, that's paragraph F. We come up with answer 1. Why? Because in the passage itself, ladies and gentlemen, you have synonym for limited success. Now, can you read it? Limited success in suppressing the game. What does it mean, suppress? What does it mean, suppress? Preventing something, stopping something. One, for example, yes, like 5 or 6 years ago, during the time of our first president, private businesses in Uzbekistan were suppressed. They were stopped, prevented, investigated. That means, you see, suppress has a negative context. I am looking through the text and I see that authorities repeatedly intervened to restrict it. What does it mean, restricting, suppressing? Look at the word limited success. What does it mean, limited success? They didn't achieve their goal. They wanted to suppress it, but they weren't able to suppress it. So I'm looking for this information, and it is at the very end. None of these efforts had much effect. Despite the government made some efforts of restricting it, preventing it, they weren't able to stop it. Because their efforts, what does mean efforts? Their actions didn't have much effect. Effects of the government, yes, efforts of the government didn't make any effect. Okay, let's move on. Now, question number 4. I'm reading my answer. Proposals for minor improvements. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Here, for this question, question number 4, I got 2 correct answers. I got 2 correct answers first. I mean correct in terms of true. I thought answer could be number like, yes, 7, or it might be number 8. Now look at number 7 and 8. Number 7, proposals for minor improvements. What does it mean, improvement? Making changes. What about number 8? Attempting to standardize a game. What does it mean, standardize? Setting rules. When you make a standard, you are setting rules, you are making, ladies and gentlemen, something legal, official, not chaotic. So here, I'm looking for the keywords. What does it mean, refine? What does it mean, here, refine football? So they decided to refine football. What does it mean, refine? Before you consume sugar, sugar is refined. You see, it's like process it, clear it. So they wanted to clear football a little. A little stands for minor improvements. You see, minor improvements here is refine football a little. And now they are giving proposals. What does it mean, proposals? Suggestions, taklif. What is their first suggestion? Limit the number of participants. What is the second suggestion? Having a referee. So they are providing you 2 proposals, 2 suggestions. Suggestion 1, suggestion 2. And here we have the keyword little. So I am choosing number 7 instead of number 8 just because I have this keyword a little. Refine it a little, fix it a little, improve it a little. Let's move on. Question number 5, a way of developing moral values. What does it mean, way, method? A method of developing moral values. Now, can you tell me, what does it mean, moral values? Some virtues, some qualities of a person that are highly regarded. For example, ladies and gentlemen, generous person, being generous. It's what? It is one of the examples for moral Values. So what does it mean, moral values? In Uzbek, it is fazilatlar, yaxshi hislatlar. A way of developing moral values. So I am coming back to the text. I see football helped to develop fine qualities. What does it mean, fine qualities? Synonym for what? Moral values, good qualities, moral values. And then they are outlining you examples like loyalty, selflessness, cooperation, subordination are all examples of moral values. Let's move on. Now you have this question number 6, and we are saying that correct answer is going to be like 8. Attempts to standardize the game. Now, can you tell me what is the meaning of standardize? Making rules, setting rules, making some standards. In Uzbekistan, production is under or sub-standardized. It means quality suffers because we don't have certain bars, restrictions or some levels. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming back to the text and I see the word initiative. What does it mean, initiative, in Russian or Uzbek? In Uzbek, tashabbus. In Russian, initiative. So they are giving us some attempts, initiatives. Began to establish some uniform standards. Keyword? Standards. Standardize. Uniform. What does it mean, uniform? For all the people, without exceptions. Yes. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you should answer the question, why attempts? You see the word attempt with S? Here we have only one, an initiative. So I'm reading until I reach in October of the same year. You see, we have this year in 1863, that was the first attempt. And we have this October of the same year. That is the second attempt. So they are saying you to establish a set of fundamental rules. What does it mean to standardize? To set a number of fundamental rules. Qoidalarni yaratish, standard yaratish. Let's move on. Now you got this question number 7. Separation into 2 sports. My answer is separation into 2 sports. Now let's prove it. You are coming back to the text, paragraph J, from the beginning to the middle. You see what happened. They were exponents. What does it mean, exponents? What does it mean, exponents? Opponents. Not supporters, opponents. Opponents, enemies of rugby style withdrew. What does it mean, withdrew? Left. So they left. And this marked a final split. What does it mean, split? Division. Yes. Division, bo'linish. Split up degani ajrashib ketish. Yoki agar yigit bilan qiz bo'ladigan bo'lsa, to'g'rimi? Urushib qolish deymiz endi. Shunga o'xshagan narsa ketyapti. Final split between rugby and football. Now, can you find paraphrase for into 2 sports? Rugby and football. You see, they are not saying like 2 sports. They are giving you examples. And then separation is synonym for split. That's why answer is going to be number 6. Let's move on. Questions 8 up to 13. Completing sentence endings, right? So this is a new type of question, ladies and gentlemen. Look. You have question number 8. It starts with suchu. And you will have to complete the sentence. Matching ending. Matching sentence ending. You are going through different options, but what you should do, listen to me. When you have this keyword, first you have to find the keyword itself in the text. So I tried to find suchu. It was like somewhere there, right? Then I'm using the word it. What does it mean, it? Yes, it refers to suchu, was performed in front of the emperor during festives to mark his birthday. So because of his birthday, they performed suchu. Make sense? And now I'm looking at the list of endings. First one, no. Second, no, like A, no, B, no, C, no. And until I reach the I letter, I am crossing out incorrect answers. As you can see here in I, it says, right? It says what? Format part of celebration. What does it mean, celebration? Birthday. So birthday is celebration. Festive season, festive time is celebration. Format part, where performed. Where performed, ijro etilgan. To be part of, kiritilgan, dasturga. Makes sense, right? Okay, let's move on. Now, question 9, Kemari. I'm coming back to the text. I'm looking for Kemari. And I see that Kemari, right? Kemari is in paragraph C, right? And just I find Kemari, ladies and gentlemen, I will be highlighting some facts about Kemari. What do you know about Kemari? Time, when it was like this, what is originated. And then it is still practiced, play it. Then I'm moving on. Look at the description. They say Kemari is not competitive sport. What does it mean, not competitive? Raqobat yo'q. So if there is no competition, there is always what? Cooperation. Agar raqobat bo'lmasa nima bo'ladi xalqlar? Raqobatchilik bo'lmasa, demak hamkorlik bo'ladi. Teskarisini o'ylang. Not competitive, cooperation. And now I am coming back to the very end of this paragraph. It says players had to pass the ball to each other. So what happens when you are passing a ball? You are cooperating, you are sharing, you are working in one team. No competition, pass a ball. And now I'm coming back to the text. I am looking at the options A, B, C, D, E, F, G until I reach this D. Can you read out the D option? Was a cooperative effort by all the players. Synonym for cooperative. Not competitive. Synonym for cooperative effort. Pass the ball to each other. That's it. Let's move on. Next question is about what? Harpastum. So my answer is B. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's check for synonyms. Involved individual players having different responsibilities. What does that mean? Individual players. Har bir ishtirokchini responsibilities, shaxsiy mas'uliyati bo'lgan. That means each of them has their own function. For example, you are defender. I am what? I'm a person who's like this, forward. And we have goalkeeper. So there were sports people of different functions. Now I'm coming back to the text. I say each team member had his own specific tactical assignment. What does it mean, each team member? You can say each member. Each member stands for individual player. Each player, individual player, have their own tactical assignment. What does it mean, assignment? Wazifa. Home assignment, homework. Assignment, job, purpose, function. And here we have different responsibilities. Wazifa, masuliyat. Synonyms. Let's move on. That's why answer is B. Now we got this question 11. What is the keyword in the question itself? 8 centuries. I got 2 keywords, 8 centuries and British Isles. I'm coming back to the text, searching for this information and find it in E paragraph. Did you find E paragraph? In E paragraph, you have the sentence 8 to 9 centuries, Great Britain, synonym for British Isles. Now let's check it. Was often played by one community against another. What does it mean, one community? Now, can we say that community, it's a country? No. We have country. Now, let's say we have nation. Listen to me. We have nation, khalq. We have society, jamiyat. We have smaller section of society, it's called community. Your village might be community. Your town might be community. Your district, your neighborhood is example of community. So I'm coming back to the text and I'm reading this thing. Frequently, contest between whole villages. Frequently, synonym. Often, frequently, between villages, contest. What does it mean, contest? Musabaqa, competition, contest between whole villages. One community against another. Make sense? Did you understand? Okay, let's move on. Now, question number 12. In the past, authorities legitimately despised the football. Now, can you tell me what does it mean, legitimately? Legally, by law. Qonun orqali. What about despise? What does it mean, despise? Punish, forbid, ban. What does it mean, forbid? Cheklamoq. Ban nima degani? Taqiqlamoq. So despise is a synonym for sin. I am coming back to the text. I am looking for the keywords in the question. Authorities made football punishable by law. So authorities made football punishable by law. Qonunan uni nima qilishgan? Jazoga tortishgan. Ya'ni siz agar futbol o'ynasangiz, qonunan sizni jazoga tortishgan ekan. Now, what was their purpose? What was their purpose? I'm coming back to the text. Because well-loved recreation, that means football here. Well-loved recreation. Football prevented subjects. Who are subjects? People. Prevented people from practicing more useful military disciplines. So instead of preparing for the war, for the real war, they played football. Make sense? So now I'm a king, I'm a person in charge. I want to have a war against, let's say, Russia. And I need a solid army who should be trained. But those people, instead of training, they are playing football. Of course, I will prevent it. Of course, I will forbid it. So I'm coming back to the text and finding correct answer. Correct answer is E. Distracted people from more important activities. What is distracted? Chalg'itmoq. Prevented subjects. Oldin olgan. To'g'rimi? Chalg'itgan degan ma'no. Who are subjects? People from practicing more useful military disciplines, important activities. More useful, important. Let's move on. Question number 13 now. When it was accepted in academic settings, football, blah, blah, blah. Okay, just continue the sentence. Now you should ask yourself, what does it mean, academic setting? What does it mean, setting? Environment. Muhit. Academic, o'quv. So academic settings example can be schools, colleges, universities. Places where you study, where you do something academic. That's why I am looking for synonym, academic. I am coming back to the text and I see that I got example of English schools. English schools, academic settings, developed their own adaptations. What does it mean, adaptations? Versions. Developed their own versions. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at schools, at English schools, they were obligatory part of curriculum. Ta'lim dasturining ajralmas majburiy qismiga aylandi deyapti. Obligatory, that means mandatory. Majburiy. Kim uchun? Who? School children. Who are they? Youngsters. Now come back to the option. Was seen as something to be encouraged in the young. Encouraged in the young. If you encourage something in the young, that means you are making it obligatory. Agar siz yoshlar orasida nimanidir tarqatmoqchi bo'lsangiz, kengaytirmoqchi bo'lsangiz nima qilasiz? O'sha narsani ta'lim dasturini qismiga aylantiryapsiz. Majburiy bo'lyapti. Qaranglar, young degan so'z yo'q, lekin school degan so'z bor. School degan so'zdan men xulosa qilaman. Maktabda kim o'qiydi? Yosh bolalar. Youngsters. Young degan so'zga sinonim. Bo'ldi. Let's move on. Question number 14 up to 19. You got this? Yes, no, not given type of questions, right? Information identification. We start with a statement. Look at the question number 14. It seems predictable that some species will disappear. Can you translate it into Uzbek or Russian language? Let's translate it into Uzbek. Ba'zi bir hayvon turlarini qirilib ketishini oldindan bashorat yoki taxmin qilish mumkin. Kalit so'z taxmin qilish, predictable, va some species disappear, ba'zi bir hayvonlar qirilib ketadi. Men qaranglar, kal so'z qilganda har doim ikkita turdagi kal so'z qilaman. Birinchisi, qanday ma'lumot? Prediction deyapti, predictable deyapti. Ya'ni bashoratni qidiraman, taxminni qidiraman. Taxminni ular may bilan berishi mumkin. Ba'zi paytlar qaranglar, predictable degan so'zni modal fe'l bilan berib qo'yish mumkin. May, might, could. Agar sen predictable ni mayga sinonimligini bilmasang, to'g'ri javob topa olmaysan. Ikkinchisi, tekstni ma'nosiga, ya'ni mana keyword deymiz, to'g'rimi? Vocabga qaraysiz. Some species disappear. Kalit so'z disappear, qirilib ketish, yo'q bo'lib ketish. I come back to the text and find the relevant part. That's the first paragraph at the very end. It is said, many of those fellow species now seem bound to become extinct. Do you know what it means, seem bound? Bound to. What does it mean, bound to? Going to. I am bound to. I am going to. Going to, synonym for predictable. Seem predictable to become extinct. What does it mean, become extinct? Qirilib ketmoq. Extinct degani qirilish degani, yo'q bo'lib ketish degani. There is only one question. Here the word is some species. Here it is many. That's why some students are start thinking, it is here said many of the species. In the question, it is said some of the species. That's why answer should be false or no, because there is a mistake. Listen to me. Do you know what does it mean, many? Is it ko'pchiligi or ko'plab? To'g'ri tarjimasini beringlar manyni. Ko'pchiligimi, ko'plabmi? Ko'plab. Sizning javobingiz, your answer would be no if it was most of those species. Agar most deb yozganda, ko'pchiligi deb tarjima qilardingizda, javobingiz nima bo'lardi? No bo'lardi. Bu yerda many, ko'plab hayvonlar qirilib ketadi. Some nima degani? Ba'zi. Ba'zi nima, qancha degani? Mafhum. Some nechta degani? Some. Undefined. Many qanday? Ko'plab. Undefined. Mostni oladigan bo'lsangiz, most defined bo'ladi. Most degani majority degani. More than half degani. Tushunasizmi? Yana bitta narsa, listen to me. They say many of them will disappear, blah blah blah, but significant proportion. What does it mean, proportion? Percentage. What does it mean, significant proportion? More than half. Like 60%, 70% of them will continue live alongside us. Biz bilan birgalikda hayotni davom ettiradi. Asosiy qismi, sezilarli qismi, ya'ni 50 dan oshiryapsiz. Agar 70-80% tirik qolsa, 15-20% nima qiladi? Qirilib ketadi. 20% nima degani? Some species. That's why answer is yes. Let's move on. Question number 15. Nature of Earth and human biology make it impossible for human beings to survive another million years. Keyword. One keyword. Impossible to live for another million years, right? I'm not looking for these keywords now. Why? Because they will be always given. They are pre-given. So I'm coming back to the text. You see physical fabric? Synonym for physical fabric. Nature. Nima degan nature bu yerda? Nature of Earth. Nima degani bu? Yerning tabiatimi? Nature tarkib degan ma'nosi ham bor. Physical fabric. Nima degan fabric bu yerda? Mato degan ma'nosi bor, tarkib degan ma'nosi bor. Physical fabric of Earth and in our own biology, blah blah blah. Endi qaranglar. Double negative. Nothing, not possible. Nothing, not possible. Possible. Very, very possible. You see? Impossible isn't impossible. Possible. That means plus. Like in mathematics, you got twos like yes, minuses, negative values. They are turning into plus. And now, for a very long time, what does it mean? Very long time. Millions of years and next million years here. So now, if you have problem with understanding, ladies and gentlemen, that's okay. Nobody is going to grasp reading passages for 100%. They got like 90% of comprehension, 80% of the comprehension. IELTS readings are not checking your reading. They are checking your ability for finding paraphrases. If you can find paraphrases, you will get the correct answers. That's it. Let's move on. Eruption. An eruption by Yellowstone is likely to be more destructive than previous volcanic eruptions. What is the key word here? Yellowstone. And there is eruption. Next eruption, more destructive than previous ones. Listen to me. That means the following eruption will be stronger. It will transform our planet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, look at Yellowstone National Park, blah, 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 has volcano, ancient volcano, of extraordinary magnitude. What does it mean, magnitude? Power. Kuch. Extraordinary, noodatiy. Yani Yellowstone'dagi volcano, vulqon, noodatiy kuchga ega. Birinchi narsa, bu mana extraordinary degan so'z menga deyapti. Noodatiy kuchga ega bo'lsa, demak qolgandan qanday? Agar siz noodatiy bo'lsangiz, demak qolganlardan nima qilasiz? Ajralib turasiz. Sizda ularga nima qilyapti? Taqqoslab ko'rsatyapti, qiyoslayapti. Keyingiga qaraylik endi. Yellowstone could erupt again. And when it does, the whole world will be transformed. What does it mean? The whole world will be transformed. Butun dunyo o'zgarib ketadi. Agar u vulqon otilsa, butun dunyo o'zgarib ketadi. Demak, bu javobingiz nima bo'lyapti? Javobingiz yes bo'lyapti. Ta'siri bormikan? Yes. And now listen to me. Now listen to me. If it was true, false, not given type of questions, answer would be not given. Agar true, false, not given bo'lganda not given qo'yilardi bu yerda. What is the difference between true, false, not given and yes, no, not given? True, false, not given questions are straightforward. They are based on what? Facts. Yes, no, not given is opinion. That means, ladies and gentlemen, that person is not going to tell you straightforward. They are giving their opinions and you should learn to read between lines. Ma'noni chiqarishni o'rganishingiz kerak. Yes, no, not given'da salgina gapirmaydi oxirigacha. Bitta ikkita so'zda, bitta ikkita misol uchun to'g'rimi? Sizga kalit so'zni bermasdan ketadi. True, false, not given'da har bir so'zga bittalab sinonim topsa bo'ladi, ma'nosi ham yuzvoy chiqadi. Yes, no, not given salgina qiyinroq. Nimaga? Chunki sizda general understanding kuchliroq bo'lishi kerak. Sinonimda o'zi yetarli emas. Bo'ldi. Whole world will be transformed, more destructive. Extraordinary magnitude, more destructive. Answer is yes. Let's move on. There is a greater chance of the Earth being hit by small asteroids than by large ones. Comparison again. We have two keywords. Greater chance, smaller asteroids, like 4 keywords. Kichkinaroq asteroidni yerga qulashini ehtimoli balandroq. Now listen to me. Asteroid the size of small island, small asteroid. You see paraphrase? Hitting the earth, striking the earth would strike the same synonyms. But you know what's the problem? It is not being compared by large asteroids. Kichik asteroidni misol qilib beryapti. Yerga tushsa deyapti, to'g'rimi, dengizga. Bitta to'lqin ko'tariladi, yerda muz bosadi deyapti. Lekin katta asteroid haqida ma'lumot yo'q-da. Mana bu qaranglar, large asteroid degan so'zni sinonimi, large one'da sinonimi yo'q. You cannot find it. That's why answer is not given. We have two type of not givens. Ikkita not given true bor. First not given when information is partially given but it's not enough to make a decision. Ma'lumot qisman beriladi, lekin u ma'lumotni xulosa qilish uchun yetarli emas sizda. So, when you cannot like say me, tell me where's the answer true or false, answer is mostly not given. When you can't say, you can't decide where's the answer yes or no, answer is not given. And the second type of not given, when information has been cut down. What does it mean, cut down? Aslida uni ichida u ma'lumot bo'lgan, lekin testda tuzgan odamlar u ma'lumotni kesib tashlagan. Kesib tashlagan degani u ma'lumot umuman berilmagan. Demak, not given'da ma'lumot yo umuman berilmaydi, yo beriladi, lekin u yetarlicha emas, qisman beriladi. Tushunyapsizmi? Bo'ldi, davom etamiz. Keyingisiga qarang. Now, if the world becomes uninhabitable, it is most likely to be as a result of natural disaster. Keyword is uninhabitable natural disaster. Agar yerni, to'g'rimi? Nima degan uninhabitable? Yashab bo'lmaydigan bo'lib qolsa, uning sababi bu tabiiy ofat bo'ladi. Ya'ni tabiiy ofat degani nima degan? Biz emas, tabiatni o'zi aybdor deyapti. Tushunyapsizmi? And now we are coming back to the text. We say becomes inhospitable, then it will probably be our own fault. It will be my fault. It will be your fault. So probably our fault is opposite to natural disaster. That's why answer is going to be what? No, let's move on. Politicians currently in power seem unlikely to change their way of thinking. Now, are you provided information about politicians? Yes. Are you provided that they should think biologically? Yes. But what is the problem? There is no word for unlikely. It's not said in the passage that they will not be able to change their opinion. If you find synonym for unlikely, answer would be yes. But here answer is not given. Information about politicians provided. How they should think, information is provided, but it's not provided the fact that it is impossible, unlikely to change their attitudes. Let's move on. Questions 20 to 25. Okay, let's move on. Sardar. Next slide. Earth become uninhabitable like other planets through a major change in the. Keyword. Change in the. Something changes and we die out. We come back to the text. Beyond habitation, inhabitable, because their temperature is far too high, blah, blah, blah. What does it mean? Could tip. What does it mean? Temperature could tip. Tips, that means like change. Either way, to the top or to the bottom. Now look, tip, synonym for change. Temperature could change. Changes in the temperature. Ala Khoja, Khoja Ala. Let's move on. Volcanic eruptions of blah 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 can lead to shortages of something in blah blah blah. Yes? Whatever, yes. Now, what is the keyword? Eruption. Eruption of something. Nimanining otilishi. Vulqonda ichidan nimadir otilib chiqyapti. We come back to the text. Molten rock bursts through volcanoes. You see, volcanoes, through them, we are what? Evaporating, like yes, let's erupting molten rock. So'zlar teskari tartibda qo'ygan, qaranglar. Volcanic eruption deyapti, u yoqda volcanoes burst deyapti. To'g'ri javob molten rock bo'lyapti, bu yerda bo'lsa teskarisi. Like Oxford University, University of Oxford. My favorite animal, the animal which I love. Them wording ketyapti. Keyingisiga qarang. You see that shortage of. What does it mean shortage? Negative word. Lack of, shortage of. You come back to the text and say seriously harm. Seriously harm food production. If it affects seriously food production, that means there will be shortage of food. Agar oziq-ovqat sanoatiga kuchli ta'sir qilsa, demak oziq-ovqat kamayib ketadi. Yetishmovchilik bo'ladi. Bo'ldi, javobimiz nima bo'lyapti? Food shortage. Okay, shortage, ya'ni shortage of food ketyapti. Keyingisiga qaraylik. Asteroid hitting the earth could create something that would result in a new something. Keyword, asteroid hitting. I come back to the text. Asteroid would strike. Second conditional. Agar asteroid yerga qulaganda deyapti, it would send blah 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 Tidal wave. What does it mean? Sand. Sand wave nima degani? To'lqin hosil qiladi deyapti. Wave nima bu? To'lqinmi? Sand wave degani to'lqin hosil qiladi. Synonym for sand is create. Tidal wave. Blah 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 blah. And propel us. What does it mean? Propel us. Lead to. Result in. Trigger. Cause. Synonym for cause. Propel. Cause us. Cause us to fall into ice age. Result in ice age. Result in a new ice age. Grammatikaga qaranglar. Nima turibdi? Article mi? Siz hozir shu tekstda article a bo'lgan, mana misol uchun menga so'zlab belgilab bering. Small mountain bor. Jumbo jet bor, to'g'rimi? Keyingisi ice age bor. O'sha 3 ta variantni har birini bittalab qo'yib ko'ringda, farosatingiz ishlaydi-da, to'g'ri javob chiqib ketadi. Oldin tushunmagan paytlarim shunaqa qilardim. Ya'ni meaning to'g'ri kelmasa, grammatikadan bosib o'rasiz. Make sense, right? Let's move on. Question 26, multiple choice. Now, what was the keyword in the question? What is the purpose of the author?
Ladies and gentlemen, look, when you're providing purpose, what you say? To, in order to, so as to. Or you can say, all in all. What does it mean, all in all? In a nutshell. Gap qisqasi, in short. Xulosa qayerda beriladi? Maqsad qayerda beriladi? Yoki eng boshida, yo oxirgi paragrafda. Menga qarang, siz o'qiyotgan readinglarda hammasi research paper deyiladi. Ilmiy biron bir maqolalardan olingan. Ilmiy maqolada sizning maqsadingiz yo boshida, yo oxirida beriladi. In your case, it is the last paragraph. In last paragraph, there is a word. The broad point is. What does it mean, broad point? The broad point is overall. That means like, yes, you are making some outcome. Xulosa. You are drawing some conclusions. Xulosa qilyapti. That we need to look at ourselves in a quite new light. What does it mean? To look at ourselves in a new light. Light bu yerda yorug'lik degan ma'noda emas. Qaysi ma'noda ketyapti? To look at something in a new light. Boshqa tarafdan. Tushunyapsizmi? Rus tilida so'zma-so'z tarjima qilinadi. Смотреть на что-то в новом свете deydi. Yangicha qarash. Yangicha biron bir narsaga munosabat deyapti. Endi qarang. Kalit so'z we look at ourselves and the world in a quite new light. Look at the answer D. To argue the need for a general change in behavior. Require general change. What does it mean, change here? To look at something in a new light. Yangicha bir qarasangiz, demak, munosabat o'zgardi, behavior o'zgaryapti. Davom etamiz, keyingisiga qarang. Reading passage 3. Question number 27. You have this matching statements to people, right? Type of questions. Disagreed. Somebody disagreed with the claim that animals contain electricity. So what does it mean? Somebody made a claim and the other person disagreed. Kimdir biron bir qarang, nazariyani oldinga surgan, ikkinchi odam unga qo'shilmayapti. Birinchi nima qilishim kerak? O'sha nazariyani topishim kerak, claimni topishim kerak. Men claimni topyapman. Paragraf G da at the end. Galvani degan odam bor. Galvani concluded that the muscles of that frog themselves manufactured and stored electricity. Animal contain electricity, store electricity. But this is not the correct answer. My answer is not Galvani. I need to find somebody who disagreed with that claim, who disagreed with Galvani. So I'm coming back to the text. Next paragraph. Not everyone was convinced by his theory. By what does it mean, his here? We are referring to Galvani. Not everyone agreed with Galvani. Alessandro Volta argued that electricity was caused by the interaction between blah 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 and blah 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 that Galvani had used. caused by interaction, blah, blah, blah. So, in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, we see that Alessandro Volta was a person, one of the people, who wasn't convinced. Who wasn't convinced by theory of galvanic references. That's why answer is Volta. Let's move on. Now, question number 28. Discovered that electricity could made to travel between objects. What is the key word? Electricity travel. Electricity travel. So I am asking myself, who discovered that electricity travels? I'm coming back to the text. I'm finding that person, Stephen Gray, discovered a way of making static electricity move. Synonym for move? Moving, that means traveling. He found a way, he discovered a means of making, forcing. Let's move on. Okay, so that means we are missing question 29. Can you look at the question number 29 now on your passages? Question number 29. Found a way of strengthening electrical currents. What is the keywords here? Strengthen. Strengthen keywords. You should come back to I paragraph. No, it's not I. H paragraph. Come back to H paragraph. That's a line number 3 from the very end. Magnify currents. What does it mean, magnify? Do you know what is magnify? First meaning is zooming, kengaytirmoq, yaqindan ko'rish, увеличить. Ikkinchisi kuchaytirmoq. Yaqinlashtirmoq, kuchaytirmoq. So who was that person? Who is that person? And if you see that, it was like what? No. We are looking now, question number 29. To'g'rimi? Found a way of strengthening electrical currents. Answer is I again, volta. Endi qaranglar, 27 bilan 29 da 2 ta volta chiqyapti, to'g'rimi yo'qmi? Ko'ryapsizmi? NB ga qarang, node by ketyapti. You may use any letter more than once. Biron bir harfni 2 marta ishlatishingiz mumkin. Gapni eshiting. Agar biron bir variant 2 marta chiqmasa, siz qaysidir javobni xato qilgan bo'lasiz. Har doim agar NB qo'yib qo'ygan bo'lsa, bitta savolni qarayapsiz, hamma variantlarga qarayapsiz, sizda harflaringiz har xil. Kamida bitta savolni varianti, ya'ni harfi B mi, C mi, D mi 2 marta takrorlanishi kerak. 3 marta ham bo'lishi mumkin, lekin kamida 2 marta takrorlanishi kerak. Tushundingizmi? Bo'ldi, demak javobim 29 A 100% ketyapti. Keyingisi. Question number 30 now look. Mana. To'g'ri aytishyapti, mana qarang, savol berishyapti. Agar 3 ta so'z qo'y kamida deydi-ku, no more than 3 words. O'shanda qaysidir savolingizda 3 ta so'z chiqmasa, demak siz xato qildingiz. Tushunyapsizmi? Ya'ni nima demoqchiman? Ular birinchi savol tuzadi. Savolni shartini oxirida tuzadi. Qarayapti, 2 ta so'z ekan, 3 ta so'z ekan, 2 ta so'z ekan, bitta so'z ekan, nima deb yozadi? No more than 3 words. Birinchi savol tuzadi, keyin shartini tuzadi. Shartida 3 ta deb yozadi. Nimaga? Chunki qaysidir variantda 3 ta javob chiqishyapti. So'z. Agar 3 ta so'z chiqmayaptimi, demak siz qayerdadir nima qilgansiz? Yo so'zni o'tkazib o'rgansiz, yo xato yozgansiz. Tushundingizmi? Keyingisiga qaraylik. Somebody proposed that electricity could be found in 2 forms. Keyword. What does it mean, propose? Propose, suggest. Electricity, 2 forms. What does it mean, 2 forms, 2 types? So we have 2 types of electricity. I'm coming back to the text, paragraph E, at the very beginning. Electricity was often sort of invisible fluid. Dufay, believe it, 2 were involved. 2 what? I am not repeating the word what? Fluid. Mana misol uchun. Do you have apples? Desangiz, yes, I got some deydi. Yes, I got some degani, yes, I got some apples degani. Bu yerda qarang, invisible fluid, you see, N, 1. So here, like, electricity was often sought as invisible fluid, one invisible fluid. But do they believe it? There were two involved. Two fluids involved. So I am coming back to the say. I say answer is E. Two forms, two involved. Answer is do they. Let's move on. Question number 31. Easiest question. Gave electricity its name. Elektr tokiga o'z nomini bergan. Come back to the text. Find Gilbert. And there is a phrase. Coin the term. What does it mean? Coin. Tanga. A coin ikinchi ma'nosi nima degani? Bosib chiqarish. Chekanit degani rus tilida. A bu yerda nima degani? Coin the term. Atama yaratish. And now listen to me. Qaranglar. Mana bu chista writing olti vocabulary. Mana bu writing olti. Give its name. Mana bu band 7. Coin a term. Reading agar qilgan bo'lsangiz, ko'pchilik holatda mana bu iborani ishlatiladi. Coin a term degani atama yaratish, nom berish degani. And now I see that it was Gilbert who coined the term of electricity from Greek language. From the Greek language. Makes sense, right? Let's move on. Question 32 up to 35. Matching information paragraphs. Okay, look at the question 32. Description of glass device of a glass device storing electricity. You see, I'm highlighting three types of keywords. First, description. What does it mean, description? So what kind of information I'm searching for? Reason? No. Example? No. Purpose? No. I am searching for description. What does it mean, description? Process should be described. Adjectives. Adverbs. I need some narrative, description. Then, glass device. What does that mean, glass? Shisha. Device, qurulma. And there is a keyword, storing, verb. So that means there should be glass container which store electricity, which keep electricity. I come back to the text. I look at paragraph E at the very end. This was a glass container. Can you find synonym for glass container? Glass device. It. What is it? Glass container, stored static electricity. Store it. Without paraphrase. Let's move on. Question 33. Answer is C paragraph. Again, what kind of information I'm looking for? Outline. What does it mean, outline? Description. Bir marta shunaqa holat bo'lgan, qarang. Mana bu matching information to paragraphsda examples deb yozib qo'ygan. Demak, nechta misol topish kerak? Kamida ikkita. Ikkita paragraf berilgan. Bunisida ham example bor, ikkinchisida ham example bor. Lekin birinchisida bitta example, ikkinchi paragrafda ikkita example. Qaysini tanlaysiz? Ikkinchisini. Agar an example deb yozgan bo'lsa-chi, birinchisini. Ya'ni sizda mana bu functional word deyiladi. Funksional so'z. Nima degan funksional so'z? Qanday ma'lumotni qidirish kerakligini belgilab beradi. What kind of information should be searched for? Outline, description. Experiment, human charged. What does mean human charged? Odamni elektr toki bilan zaryadlashgan. Telefonni zaryadlaganda odamga ham ulab ko'rishibdi. Qidiraman. I come back to the text, paragraph C at the very end. It is also thought that Gray carried out flying boy experiment. Uchar bola eksperimentini qilib ko'ribdi. And now, you see this column? Ikkita nuqtani ko'ryapsizlarmi? Ona tilida mana misol uchun yoki rus tilingizda ikkita nuqta nimaga qo'yiladi? Yoki sababni ko'rsatish uchun, yoki tafsilotlarni gapirib berish uchun. Ya'ni qarang, sabab yoki details. You should provide after this like column reason or detail. So here we have details. Suspending a boy with steel cords and conducting static electricity to his hands. Who is he? Boy. And you know that boy is example for human. Human, boy, static electricity on his hands, through his hands. That's why answer is C paragraph. This information is provided in C paragraph. Let's move on. Question 34, examples. Look, examples of application of electrical currents. What does it mean, application? Using, making use of. So I need to find at least 2 examples when electricity is being used. Come back to the text. The I paragraph, the very last paragraph. You say current. What does it mean, current? Electrical current. Use it to decompose water. Use it, synonym for application. But you know what? Here is only one example. Use it to decompose. If you read the very end, now can you open I paragraph, very end. There is information about how electrical currents changed our reliance on animals and we use it, engines.
Electricity was replacing animals and steam as the power used to operate machines. So now, ladies and gentlemen, can you give me 2 examples of application of electricity? Use it to decompose water, use it to operate machines. To operate machines, to decompose water. 2 examples. Make sense? Let's move on. Question 35. I claim that the theory that electricity consisted of 2 fluids was wrong.
That means there were 2 people. One of them claimed that there were 2 fluids, but other person refuted that theory. Unga qarshi chiqqan. I need to find the relevant part of the text when this suggestion or proposal was refuted. First, electricity, blah, 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 2 were involved. That is E paragraph. But if you move forward in F paragraph, you have Benjamin Franklin, who argued against Dufay. Do you remember what was his theory? The name of his theory, 2 fluids. 2 fluids, we have this information about Dufay. And now we have Benjamin Franklin who argues against Dufay. Answer is F. Let's move on. Question 36 up to 40 now. Question 36 consisted of pile of discs made of 2 types of something. Now, you see the keyword 2? They are not giving you 2 numbers, they are giving you examples. Silver and zinc. Silver and zinc are 2 examples, 2 types of metal. Again, you see, Ale, Hoja, Ale. Rewarding. To'g'ri javobni hech qachon orqasidan qidirmang. 90% holatda to'g'ri javobni o'tkazib olgan bo'lasiz. Orqaga qaytish kerak. Keyingisiga qaraysiz. Question 37. Disc separated by pieces of. This one is easy. Separated by layers. Qavatlar, pieces, bo'laklar of cardboard. And this is where I made a mistake. Because when I was spelling it, I put the word cupboard. I put the word cupboard. Here it is cardboard. Make sense? Okay, technical mistake. Let's move on. Question 38 up to 39. Linking top and bottom of pile with something. Singular countable noun. Synonym for linking. Can you find synonym for linking? Connecting by means of a wire. Top, bottom. Now, one word. Is a task, right? Yeah, that's why you will have to put the word current. Yes, I got the point. Answer will be current because in the task it is requiring us to provide one word, right? Current, and now listen to me. Synonym, created something. When you create something, produce. Look, active voice, passive voice. Current was produced. Current was produced. And then what? Current, no. There should be like with a wire, create. Listen to me. Here we have participle. A wire which created. Created, which is produced. Answer is current, right? Let's move on. Final question. Blah, blah, blah was soon used to separate. Look. Use it to separate. What does mean separate? Again, now what's the matter? Listen to me. Separate is like B1 level vocab. Separate B1 level vocab. You come back to the text, you see the word decompose. What does it mean, compose? Can you tell me, compose? You can compose music. You can compose a poem. Yaratmoq. Yozmoq. Composer kim bu? Kompozitor. Qo'shiq yozuvchisi. Bastakor. Compose degani yaratish, qo'shish. De nima degani? Bo'laklarga ajratish. Tushunyapsizmi? Agree disagree o'xshayapti. To decompose, to separate water into hydrogen and oxygen. What does that mean? Elements? Elements include hydrogen and oxygen. Answer is to decompose. That means like to decompose water, to separate water. Let's move on. That's it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, regarding writing, what I'm going to do. I will ask these mock organizers to send my presentation. So I couldn't manage my time today in terms of writing. And I will ask them to send my essays. Those essays which I have written during the lesson. Make sense? And I also promise that I will make 15 or 20 minute explanation on the way I'm writing my essays. Make sense? Okay now. If you wish, I can read out my task 2 and I will give you 5 minute insight. So let's give you some insight now, this one. First thing, you should ask me a question. Which task do you start with? Task 1 or task 2? Now, can you raise your hands if you start with task 2? And do we have anyone who starts with task 1? Okay, that's very good, professional of you. It is advised to start with task 1, but I highly recommend students, especially those who are taking IELTS for the first time, to start out with task 2. You know the reason, because it weighs more. Even in the exams they tell you, task 2 weighs more. That's why make sure you spend more time on task 2. Next, what happens if you got complete task 2 and incomplete task 1? If you have average level of English, anyway you will get band 6. Task 2 ni tugatib, task 1 chala qolsa, ingliz tili B2, B1 darajasida bo'lsa, writingdan 5,5 kamida bo'lmasa 6 olasiz. What will happen if the opposite happens? Task 1 is complete and there is underlines in task 2. At most 5.5. Uzoq bilan 5,5 olasiz. O'shaning uchun task 2 dan boshlaganingiz yaxshi. Level'i o'rtacha bo'lgan, IELTSdan 6.5 olib yurgan odamlar task 2 dan boshlasa yaxshiroq. Tushunyapsiz-a? Keyingisiga qaraylik. Plan qilaman. Har bir mana essay yozayotganda 5 minut vaqtim planga ketadi. Plan qanaqa? Plan deganda nimani tushunamiz? Har bir paragrafda nima so'z bilan boshlab, qaysi so'z bilan tugatishimni bilaman. Birinchi misol uchun, argument ketyapti. Mana essayni qo'yib turaman. Note taking qilyapman-da. Environmental aspect, benefit, filter air, remove pollutants. Green belt, create favorable ecosystem, moisture level, trap sand particles. Example, Tashkent. I'm giving example of Tashkent after construction boom. Construction boom degani shaharda qurilish ko'payib ketdi. Toshkentni misol qilib ko'rsatyapman. Daraxtlarning soni kamaydi, 3 ta muammo paydo bo'ldi. Birinchisi pollution. Ikkinchisi nima bo'lyapti? Temperature. Toshkentdagi o'rtacha, to'g'rimi, harorat ko'rsatkichi 2-3 gradusga oshib ketdi. Va buni oqibatlari haqida yozib beraman. Nimaga olib kelyapti? Odamlar kasal bo'lyapti. Odamlarning misol uchun well-being deymiz yoki welfare deymiz, farovonligi, yaxshi hayotiga ta'sir ko'rsatyapti. Ikkinchi argument boshqa perspektivdan qarayapman, health perspective, sog'liqqa. Sog'liqqa qaraganda qarang, parallel structure bilan ikkita narsani yozyapman. Birinchidan physical healthga qanday foydasi bor? Ikkinchidan mental healthga. Physical healthga deyapsiz, misol uchun foyda tarafi nima? Do exercise, lose weight, to'g'rimi? Prevent obesity. Misol beryapman. Mana bu parkda oldida yashaydigan odamlar, parkka yaqin yashaydigan odamlar ko'proq vaqtini parkda sayr qilish bilan o'tkazadi. Ertalab yuguradi. O'shaning uchun ulardagi obesityni, to'g'rimi, chances yoki frequency deymiz, ehtimolligi, possibility pastroq. Ikkinchisi mental health. Mental health degan ruhiy salomatlik. Qanday argument beryapman? Yozyapman. Reduce stress. Asablar tinchlanadi. Keyingisini shuni yozyapman-da. Reduce stress, bond nature. Bond with nature degani tabiat bilan yaqinlash, uyg'unlashish. Tabiat bilan uyg'unlashsa deyapman, odamlarda stressi kamayadi. Buni qanday, misol uchun, to'g'rimi? Yaxshi taraflari bor, shuni yoritib beryapman bo'ldi. Stress kamaydi degani o'zingiz ham tushuntiribsiz, to'g'rimi? Productivity oshadi. Fatigue degan narsa bor. Nima degan fatigue? Charchoq. Fatigue o'sha charchoq chiqadi. To'g'rimi? Va oxir oqibat productivity oshadi deyapsiz. Bitta example beryapsiz. Singapur degan davlat bor ekan, qanday texnologiya qilgan, shaharini 30-40% parkdan iborat, odamlar productive, unaqa pistoncha oldi qochdi, bitta misol berasiz, ketdi shu bilan. Tushunyapsiz-a? Explanation qilib bersangiz bo'ldi. Mana bu yerda qarang. Sizga hozir bitta gapni aytaman. Qayerda edi? Mana bu yerda ekan. Mana. Therefore, xulosa qilyapman ikkinchi bodyga. City planners should take wooden areas, green areas, as a constant that cannot be altered or removed. Shuning uchun shaharsozlar shahar hududidagi parklarni konstanta deb qabul qilish kerak. Nima degani konstanta? O'zgarmaydigan narsa. Va uni o'zgartirib ham bo'lmaydi, yo misol uchun yo'q qilib ham bo'lmaydi. Ya'ni nima demoqchi bo'laman? Istagan ishingni qil, xohlagan narsangni qil, lekin parklarga teginma. Ular davlat tomonidan muhofaza qilingan. Ekologiyaning statistikasini bitta-ikkita qo'shib yubordim, bo'ldi. Tushunyapsizmi? Endi qarang, bir xillar aytadi, writingda task 1, task 2 da statistika berish noto'g'ri deydi. Shu gapni aytgan odam o'zi xato fikrlayapti. Nimaga? Siz academic writing yozyapsiz. Nimaga academic writing? Universitetda writingini yozyapsiz. Universitetda o'zingiz bilasiz, kurs ishi yozganingizda, diplom ishi yozganingizda aytgan gapingizni biron bir misol bilan, biron bir, to'g'rimi, ko'rsatkich bilan isbotlab berishingiz kerak. Agar bilmasangiz, reading o'qing, readingda juda ham ko'p misol berishadi. Example. Readingdagi examplelar ko'rganmisizlar? Agar readingdagi exampleda writingingizga qo'ysangiz, writingingizda bali yarim ballga ko'tarilishi mumkin. Nimani hisobiga? Birinchidan ko'proq so'z bo'ladi, underlines bo'lmaydi. Ikkinchidan explanation oshyapti. CC degan narsa bor. Coherence qo'shishi. Gaplaringiz bir-biriga yaxshi qavushyapti, ulanyapti. Keyingisiga qaraylik. Vocab build up degan narsa qilaman. Vocab build up qanaqa? Har bir savoldagi, mavzudagi so'zlarga bitta-ikkita sinonim qilaman. Misol uchun, housing crisis, housing shortage, shortage of residential accommodation va hokazo. Inadequate, not enough, insufficient. Keyingisi. Eng ko'p qiynalgan so'zingiz qaysi bo'ldi? Task 2da. Reassign. Nima degan reassign? Reassign degani undan olib boshqasiga berish. Tushunyapsizmi? Yoki biron bir narsani qaytadan buyruq chiqarish. Reassign the land degani bitta yerni boshqa bir odamga yoki shaxsga berish bo'lyapti. Sinonim ketyapti. Reassign, redistribute. Nima degani redistribute? Distribute degani taqsimlash, redistribute degani qaytadan taqsimlash. Remove degan so'zni oldik, replace degan so'zni oldik, sinonim bir-biriga yaqin bo'lyapti. Keyingisi, better use it, more effective, more practical, more rational, reasonable va hokazo. Endi qarang. Agar mavzudagi so'zlar, mana mavzudagi so'zlarga, iboralarga ikkita, uchta sinonim qilib qo'ysangiz, writing yozishdan oldin, writing yozayotgan paytingiz bitta-bittalab ishlatib ketaverasiz. Ekzaminator o'qiganda vocabni ko'rib nima qiladi? Hayron qoladi. Reassign deyapsiz, redistribute deyapsiz. Misol uchun, to'g'rimi? Ko'ryapti, bitta sinonim bor, ikkita sinonim bor, uchinchi sinonim bor, to'rtinchi sinonim bor. Sinonim deganda ham aynan nima? O'shanga 100% to'g'ri keladigan sinonim. Ma'nosi yaqin emas, aniq sinonim. Word choice'da to'g'ri xato qilmayapsiz bu yerda.
Tushunyapsiz-a? O'sha narsa. Agar bu narsani qilsangiz, writingingiz overall band score'da oladigan bo'lsa ham yarim ballga oshadi. Ya'ni agar hozir siz writingingiz 6 bo'lsa, maslahatim. Birinchi o'rinda task 2 ga ishlash. Bu bir. Task 2 da yozayotganingizda vocab build up qilish. Bu 2. Planni birinchi qilib, orqasidan writing yozish. Plan qilmasdan yozilgan writing imtihonda 6,5 dan baland olmaydi. To'g'ri, ko'pchilik aytadi, o'qituvchilar ham plan qilmasdan yozaman, nima qilaman, freestyle qilaman. Menga qarang, siz ularning gapiga ishonmang. Ular freestyle qiladi chunki praktikasi katta. Essay ko'p yozgan. Siz plan qilasiz va birovning fikrini olib yozasiz. Ya'ni sample essay o'qisangiz, biz bu narsani sushka deymiz. Menga qarang. 40 ta essayni oling. 10 ta umumiy mavzuga bo'lsin. Ya'ni 40 ta essayda har bir mavzuga 4 ta essaydan oling. Har bir o'sha essayni quriting. Ya'ni misol uchun olmani olishadi, quritishadi-ku, olma qoqib qilishadi. Xuddi shunaqa asosiy fikrini 6 ta 7 ta so'z bilan yozib, example'larni ham yozib chiqing. Plan paydo bo'ladi. Agar 40 ta essayni shunaqa qilsangiz, imtihondan oldin bir hafta qolganda o'sha 40 ta essayni muntazam takrorlasangiz, imtihonda men sizga shu narsani kafil bo'la olaman. Siz 40 ta essay ko'rgan bo'lsangiz, kamida 2 ta 3 ta essayingiz o'sha mavzuga yaqin tushadi. Men hozirgacha IELTS topshirgan bo'lsam, biron bir mavzu tanish bo'lmagan mavzu tushmagan. Ya'ni voy yangi mavzu tushdi, tayyorlanmaganini bilmagandim. Nimaga? Chunki o'qiysiz, birovda essaylarni o'qiysiz. IELTSda yaxshi tarafi nima? O'zi bir 10 tami general topic bor. Birinchisi education, technology, environment, social, misol uchun qanaqadir topics, to'g'rimi? Gender, healthcare, crime and punishment. Keyingisi. Artni gapirdingmi, yo'qmi? Art shunga o'xshagan narsalar, to'g'rimi? Bu health mavzusiga to'g'ri kelyapti. Bo'ldi. Qarang, oxirgisi qolib ketdi finance bilan economics. Iqtisodiy. Pulni qayerga sarflash kerak degan essaylar bor-ku. Muzeylargami yo bog'cha ochish kerakmi yo maktab ochish kerakmi deydi. 10 tami katta mavzu bor. O'sha 10 ta 12 ta mavzuga agar tayyorlansangiz, tayyorlanish deganda nima? Men sizga yozishni maslahat bermayman, o'qish kerak. Uyga borasiz, essay yozishni xohlayapsiz. Agar o'zingiz yozsangiz essayni progress bo'lmaydi. Internetga kiring, YouTube bor, Google bor. Google'da mana Quora degan forumlar bor. Bilasizmi? Quora. Savol berasan, aqlli odamlar javob beradi. O'shanga o'xshagan forumlarga savol bersangiz yoki internet Google'ga kirib savol bering, sizga nima qiladi? Biron bir ma'lumot beradi. Bloglarni chiqarib beradi. O'sha blogdagi ma'lumotni plan qilib oling o'zingizga. Plan qilib oling o'shani ishlating essay yozganda. Agar shu narsani 20 ta 30 ta essayga qilsangiz, sizda o'zingiz ham sezasiz, writingingiz mo'kdagi bolalarga ham misol uchun agar ko'rsatsangiz aytadi, 5,5 6 bo'lib turgan bo'lsa 6,5 ga chiqadi. Lekin o'qituvchiga ishonib, o'qituvchimiz o'rgatyapti-ku, o'qituvchi misol uchun harakat qilyapti-ku, essayimni tekshiryapti. Qarang, essaydagi xatolarni ko'rib, essayni ko'tarib bo'lmaydi. Intrinsic motivation degan narsa bor. Sizni o'zingizdan birinchi qadam qo'yilishi kerak. Siz o'zingiz shu narsaga harakat qilib, essayni yaxshilayman. Agar o'qituvchini essayni tekshirib, qo'lingizga berishini kutadigan bo'lsangiz, writing yo 5,5 uzoq bilan 6 chiqib ketadi sizda. Task 1 nima? Task 1 ga 2 ta 3 ta yaxshi kitob bor. Aynan exercises. Task 1 da sizlardagi kamchilik nima? O'qituvchi o'rgatadi. Bir 20 ta 30 ta so'zni ro'yxatini beradi, qanday ishlatishni tushuntirib beradi, lekin nima? Ishlata olmaysizlar. Ya'ni increase deydi, increase'ga 4 dan 5 ta sinonim beradi. Gap tuzasan, lekin task 1 yozayotganingda kallang ishlamay qoladi. Hamma gaplaring bir-biriga o'xshash chiqaveradi. Increase, decrease, increase, decrease. Aynan men line graph haqida gapiryapman hozir. Nima qilish kerak? 4 ta 5 ta kitob bor. Men bugun bolalarga aytaman, gruppaga, kanalga tashlab yuboradi. O'sha kitoblarning tagiga kichkinagina caption yozib qo'yamiz. 2 ta 3 ta yaxshi kitoblar bor, mashq. Task 1 yozishni o'rgatmaydi. IELTS Advantage Writing degan kitobni kim biladi? Qo'lni ko'tarsin. Men u kitobda sehrli damlama deyman-da, mana misol uchun to'g'ri. Magic potion deyman-da. Nimaga? Chunki writingda taskvonni yoza olmaydigan odam, tufta yozayotgan odamga bir 10 ta 15 ta mashq beradi, o'rgatadi. O'shani hisobiga sizni writingiz o'zingiz ham bilmagan holda ko'tariladi. Yana bitta yaxshi tarafi juda ham zo'r feedback bergan. Har bir mashqning o'zini maqsadi bor. Birinchi qoida beradi, orqasidan mashq beradi. Qoida, mashq, qoida, mashq. Tushunyapsizmi? O'sha narsa. Oxirgi narsa writing bo'yicha aytmoqchiman sizga. Writingga ishlasangiz, speaking o'zi o'sadi. Ya'ni hozir agar savol tug'ilayotgan bo'lsa, 1 oy vaqtim qoldi, 1,5 oy vaqtim qoldi, nima qilay? Writing, speaking qilaymi? Listening, reading qilaymi? Listening, reading baribir qilasan, mo'kka kelyapsan. Uyda qilish shart emas uni. Mo'ktagini taqlid qilsang ham yetadi. Ko'p narsa qilishga harakat qilmang-da, sifatli qilsangiz bo'ldi. Writing bilan speaking qolyaptimi? Meni maqsadim 70 ga 30. 70% vaqtingizni writingga ishlating, 30% vaqtingizni speakingga sarflang. O'shanda writing ham oshadi, orqasidan speaking ham oshadi. Nimaga? Chunki vocabga ishlaysiz. Linkerlarga, grammatikaga, languagega ishlaganingizdan keyin spoken English ham ancha ko'tariladi. Tushundingizmi? Rahmat e'tibor uchun. Sog' bo'linglar.